Okay, let's go.
Hello everyone, salutations! Welcome to the stream.
Hello.
I am the blue one, who's green. And I am here with Ruinah, and we're gonna play some Eruo Truck Sim too.
Yeah. Welcome in, everyone. Yeah.
Yes.
I saw this little video that Blue made about Eruo Truck, and I was like, when do we collab? I like truck. And we are here now. That's the summary. That's
Here.
why this is happening. Yeah.
There we go.
It's.
Let me turn off the in-game music because I have my own music playing in the background.
Oh, I don't.
Yes. I'd like to have a little soundtrack playing in the background when I play these kind of games, just to fill in any dead air.
Yeah, you mentioned that yesterday, but I forgot. Add some music.
You're busy
It's
writing down
fine.
this topical discussion stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Mew Mew.
Hi. Hey, Josh. Welcome to the stream. Yes, everyone's on Twitch except for me. I am the
Hello,
weirdo who
Josh.
streams on YouTube. The trucks look a bit like they came in from the big rigs. Well, these are European trucks. They come in, they follow different parameters and guidelines overseas as opposed to America. Oh no, I lost chat. Reload. And I see you there, Ruinah. I see you lurking in the background.
Nice. Do you want me to start a quick job?
Yes, let's get started, shall we?
There we go. There. I'm
Yeah.
gonna start the one with the highest payment.
Hi,
it's
Mew
gonna
Mew.
take us
I see you.
Frankfurt to Erfurt.
How's
Just
everyone doing?
Germany.
Just Germany. Yeah, because we can't go over like 400-mile jobs, right?
Yeah, not yet. We have to level up. We are newbies.
Oh, the reservoir tank. I will
Yeah.
take the job.
I
Stuttgart.
like the heavy cargo jobs because they are like just a bit more difficult. I like the feeling of the weight of the truck.
Ah. Okay, now that we're loading into like the game proper, hopefully the lag. For some weird reason, this game lags on the main menu. I don't know why, but it's not so
Really?
bad. Yeah. Yeah. Once we get into the game, everything is usually fine. Wow, this is a truck.
It's a truck.
Where are you?
Remember that we don't see each other until we. I think I heard your truck. Do you see me moving?
Is that you?
I am
the
on
left?
an orange.
Orange. I have a
Yeah.
yellow.
I don't see yellow.
There you are, on my right. So I'm on your left.
Yeah, I don't see you. You're gonna spawn when you move a little bit.
Hello.
Yeah, there you go. I see you now. Yeah, nice. Nice.
I like how I turned right, and we're supposed to be leaving on the left. Straighten it out.
Mimi saying, I made a lot of questions about this game before collab.
Oh,
One of
really?
those being, how do you find each other? Yeah, she was like, okay, how do you find each other in this, like, huge world? Shit, I'm gonna... my microphone is on the way. Yes, she was like, how do you find each other? You have to travel to find each other?
Well,
That's cute.
if we're all in the same convoy, we just start at the same location.
Yeah.
Although I guess if we're taking different jobs, it's different. But the fun fact is that we have a CB radio. I think it's...
Oh, yeah.
No.
We
That's...
do. I don't know how to use it, though.
Okay, I can't do the... I can't remember the button. I thought it was V, but I could be wrong.
Oh, I don't know. I changed many keys.
Here, let me find the button. Like it popped in, and it was like, "Here's all the things you need to know." And I'm like, "Okay, that's cool." HUD controls, camera controls, walk mode. I don't walk around. Photo mode. We're not photoing things.
We can walk around?
Push to talk.
Really? Wow. I didn't know that.
Hello, this is the CB radio. Can you hear me? 10-4.
I can. What's the button?
X.
Egg.
The button under the S key.
Hello, I can hear you.
Yes. But Discord doesn't require us to do that, so...
Yeah.
Esté preparado para girar a la izquierda.
Está preparada a girar a la izquierda.
Gira a la izquierda.
Buenas noches, me llamo Blue Whisper.
Yeah, what?
¿Cómo
the plan
está?
is just... What?
What?
Please try to span it.
I tried to Spanish.
I wasn't really paying attention. We try again.
You're like, what language is he speaking? It's not English.
But yeah, I think it was good. Are we gonna race for it? Like,
Are
or
we
just
racing?
go?
I'm just going. I'm just playing as normal. Whoa, that's
Okay.
nice. The Spanish?
Yeah, I think you did pretty well.
Y vuelva a girar a la izquierda.
Yeah, what did you say? Say it again.
Buenos noches, me
Gira
llamo
a la izquierda.
Blue Whisper. ¿Cómo está?
Oh, muy bien. ¿Y tú?
Así, así.
What?
What? Así, así? Así, así? I thought that meant okay. I thought that was like so-so. I'm so-so.
Nah, not really.
Not really. My Spanish
No.
teacher has failed me.
I mean, así means like there, maybe? But there in... I don't even know how to translate it for you right now.
It's too complicated.
How?
So
mean,
would
help
be
me out with this.
más o menos. Más o menos? Más o menos?
Yeah, that could be so-so, yeah. Like, not good, not bad. Yeah.
Mi
That's
azul. Mi azul.
Yeah, that requires a little bit more of more words. Like,
More
are you trying to
words.
say I am blue?
Me blue. Me blue.
As in I am blue?
I don't
like, my
know.
name is-
I know how to say my name is.
That's yeah. Mi nombre es.
Yes.
Yeah. But if you say me blue, you could say that could be yo soy blue, which means I
soy?
am blue.
Yo
Yeah.
soy blue. Okay. So when I said
Yeah, like-
vamonos in chat yesterday, you're like, what the heck are you saying? I thought vamonos.
could be let's go.
Yes, I've always known vamonos as let's go.
That would vámonos could mean it is let's go, but in the sense of like let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Not as in let's reach this goal. Got it? Spanish is complicated.
Look, English is complicated too.
I think English is complicated in the sense that many things don't make sense.
Have you seen the sea
Like-
by the sea?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like similar words that mean the same or don't mean the same, or like I have problems with the words that have many R's and H's in between, like throw, through, throughout, like
Through,
threshold.
throughout.
Yeah.
This,
Yeah, I don't.
there is there.
Yeah, fuck that.
There is over
Spanish is-
there.
Spanish is complicated in the sense of like verbs and like the past tense. We have like many different past tenses. It's complicated.
Yes.
It's like yo soy, yo fui, yo era. That many different ways of saying I was.
And of course, that's
Yeah.
it, not even taking into account like things like you have to change things like between el and la to los and las. depending on things. Like I could say los dos gatos, or it could be las dos gatas.
Yes, gatas. Yeah. Yeah, we have many female and male differences,
Yeah.
and it doesn't change just the adjective, but yeah, what is behind too.
Los dos rojos. No. Los dos
What?
roja gatos.
Roja? Oh,
Rojo.
that could be. Oh.
Verde.
Hey, thank you, Scariot. Thanks for the 2 months sub.
Hello. Yes, Josh. Ruinah and Mew, you guys are both in Spain, right?
No, we are
Oh.
in South America.
Oh, South America.
Yeah.
Oh. Why did I have a thought? You know, it's because my brain is so simple. Whenever I think of like South America, I always think like they speak
Okay.
like Portuguese. And there's so many different variations of Portuguese as well. Are you like Brazilian Portuguese? Are you Portuguese Portuguese?
Continúe a la derecha.
The funny thing is that I think there's only one country in South America that speaks Portuguese, which is Brazil, and the rest is all Spanish.
Why is it raining here and not in Ruinah? Because I have turned up my rain weather possibilities to the highest possible max because I love the rain.
Oh.
I love rain in games like this. And if it was just me playing all by myself, I would just max out the rain volume.
I usually do that as well.
There's
But
nothing
it's
more.
weird that we don't share the weather.
It is weird. Yeah, there's nothing more satisfying to me than just sitting in my car on my lunch break and listening to the rain hit the roof of my car.
Yeah, rain is awesome. We're approaching winter now here in South America, and I just want it to rain.
Aha.
Isn't it weird
I'm talking
how
about the truck
weather-
ride. Oh, no, we're in Germany. We are in Germany. We're
yeah.
playing the base game variation. Well, I'm playing the base game. Ruinah might have access to a lot more stuff than I do.
Yeah.
But I only have the base game, so I only really have access to England, Germany, and some of the cities of other countries around the Germany borders. So like we can go to Paris and France. Ooh, nice lightning.
We can try.
But yeah, we can't like. We don't have access. I don't have access to the entire European continent. In my
It's big.
yes, it's very big.
But I think these guys do very nice discounts for the DLCs from time to time.
Yeah. I just
So if
have
you
not
like
really
it-
been in the
Continúe a
mood.
la derecha y
Yeah.
luego girar a la derecha.
You guys need to move.
By the way, did we miss an exit, Evan?
No,
Like,
no,
we have to go back
Gira a la
now?
No.
derecha.
I have no
So I
idea what
think
you're
you-
talking about. I have
You
no idea
did
what you're
miss an
talking about.
exit. And we're
I have
gonna
no
miss it
idea what
again?
you're You can go. You can
Oh,
go.
missed it again. No.
Look, we're
let's go
having our
together.
discussion,
It's
man.
A convoy.
We're having our wonderful discussions about how horrible my Spanish teacher has failed me. But also saying that, you know, Spanish is a complicated language. Languages are not learning a new language is not going to be easy. Especially if you just
No,
try to
it's not.
you got to have that motivation and the knowledge and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Should be
if
truck
there's no
language be German,
motivation-
not Spanish? Well, I mean,
Oh.
it makes sense, but we're playing a video game.
Yeah. It's like, this is not real.
In the real world, I'm like, well, I have the GPS to help me out anyways. I really
Yeah,
want to
the-
test this bumper to see if I can just go over it.
No, you can't.
I know I
Or
can't.
maybe you can, but it's gonna fail.
Don't
This
tempt me.
carrot can deal with other drivers existing, like any other drivers.
Yeah, Spain is in Europe, but I don't have Spain or France DLCs. So,
But yeah, was your Spanish teacher from Spain or South America, or he just knew Spanish?
well, let's see here. it's kind of complicated because I was learning Spanish in Texas, and the city I lived in was pretty much on the border of Texas and Mexico. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they were Hispanic or whatnot. It just means that they have a certificate of education to teach people Spanish at a high school level.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's way more different than actually knowing the language.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Miu Miu told me the other day that she had an English teacher in the university, I think,
Right.
that didn't know English. Like, at all. Like, it was like a replacement teacher, I think, and she didn't know English. Like, nothing
Uh-huh.
at all. That's how like students were like, it wasn't you, who was it?
Are you sure you're not a substitute teacher? You're not just here to assign us assignments from the main teacher?
Oh, it was a friend from Yumi. Oh, wanna crutch? That wasn't that bad. Well, yeah, I learned English because there's a motivation. There was a motivation.
Yeah.
The thing you said before. Like, I did well in class, but that wasn't enough for like speaking English. But I wanted to like have friends online, playing MMOs, and they all speak English. Oh.
What?
You almost crashed into. Oh shit!
What?
I
What?
almost crashed into someone because you almost crashed into him.
That sounds like a them problem, not a my problem. I only have 1% damage to my truck.
Get. Oh yeah, I have 1% too. Well, yeah, so I wanted to play with friends. I wanted to know more, like the movies and everything. So I started to look like watch movies with English subtitles or without subtitles, and
Right.
yeah, that led
Yeah.
me to speak in English.
Yeah, I understand that motivation because that's kind of like part of the reason why I would like to learn Japanese, so that way I can just watch sub-anime without the subtitles.
Yeah, but I think that's more difficult. I think
Yeah.
depending on the anime, because they speak like a simplified version of Japanese in some animes, I think.
Yes. And it became quite baffling to like native speakers to be like, what the heck? Why are you talking like this is some kind of a... I mean, honestly, that could be applied to like, I would assume that would apply to any language. Why are you talking like everybody talks, like in the TV shows and stuff?
Yeah. Why are you speaking like Naruto? That isn't this. But no.
I am waltzing across the boulevard. Excuse me? Why didn't you just say, why did you cross the street?
Yeah, that could be weird. That could be weird.
Amazing there are no bad
languages.
effects with the hitting the cars. No, I mean, it's a simple game. The main motivation isn't to cause damage and crash. It's about just driving and delivering cargo.
The point is to drive properly and don't have damage.
It's
to
why
you or
there are
the others.
invisible walls and stuff, so that way you can't accidentally just drive off a mountain and land into like an inaccessible creek bed.
Yeah.
You just slam into an invisible wall, find out you can't back up because the weight of your cargo is exceeding the maximum spin force, rotational force of your tires for your particular truck, even if you have a heavy-duty engine and stuff like that, and transmission or whatnot. I don't know, fancy vehicle phrases and terminology here. And, yeah. You just call the tow truck, which magically transports you, usually away from where you want to go. I've been lucky sometimes where they actually towed me toward closer to my destination, but it's usually at the expense of not even really cash, but annoyingly time. Time is more annoying to lose than money.
Time is money.
Yes. But I feel like my time has a higher currency value than just regular currency.
I agree. I usually calculate it by like my job, like actual job.
Right.
Like if I waste an hour, it will be like this is this amount of money for someone that's paying me.
I did look up that game, Josh, that you're talking about there, about the 3-hour bus drive. I did look that up. It's very fascinating.
Father time. Also, your father is a truck driver. Wow.
Really?
I have never been in a real truck. Yeah, Iscariot's dad is a truck driver.
Oh,
I didn't
yes.
know that.
Yes. Yeah, I think I remember him mentioning that at some point. I don't know if it was like one of our chats or if it was like something he nonchalantly mentioned in one of his streams during one of his story times.
I want to drive a real truck
Continúe en la derecha.
eventually.
Y vuelva a seguir en la derecha.
Like, even if it's like for 10 seconds.
Just for 10
I
seconds.
want to do it.
Salga
Yeah,
a la
just like
derecha.
go forward, stop. Yeah, I will be happy with that.
Encontraré una
I don't want to get a license for driving a truck and then finding a job or buying my own
Right.
expensive ass truck. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if someone wants to lend me its truck, did you go straight or did you?
Yeah, I said you don't have to follow me. I went straight, yes. Because the map is so annoying. It's always like this is what I hate about the map too. Is like you're like turn off here, but the line looks like it's just going straight and the arrows are just straight enough, but just at an angle enough that I can't tell like is it saying go straight or not? And so I just keep going straight and then it's like you missed your turn off. It's like, well, why didn't you have the arrows further pointing right? You know?
How close do you have the map? Like the zoom.
Hold on 1 second.
So you can press F5 and get it closer. So you don't miss anything.
Hello,
Are you
I am
going to
back.
race? I don't think we're going to race. I'm just chasing Blue, and Blue is just going straight.
How long do we have to deliver this
Continúe a
cargo?
la derecha y vuelva a seguir en la derecha.
I think F6. We're expected by Tuesday night,
Tuesday night.
and it's yeah,
Are you
and it's
sh-
Wednesday. We can still get in time
That's cool.
if you take the right turnaround.
Alright, I'll be right back. I have to run the trash can down because I was not informed of this delivery earlier. So I'll be right back.
What do you mean? This has been a collab for a while.
I know, but for some reason I didn't get told to take the trash can down to the curb until just now.
All right, go for it.
Yes, please entertain everyone. I shall return.
Oh shit. Oh shit. No, that's a difficult. Hello everyone. Hello Blues chat. Shit. No. Time to dance again? No. No more dances. No more that. So Josh was saying I might end up driving the truck like it's a monster truck. That's basically what Blue is doing right now. He's just going for it. He doesn't mind about crashing. He just likes the road. He just hits the throttle and go. It's about that. I need some music for this. Yeah, next time I'm gonna put like a playlist of music. I wonder what kind of driver will Blue be. Good. I wonder what kind of driver will Blue be. Wow, that was hard. That was hard. I don't know. Maybe we gotta ask him when he returns. Because I am curious about that. Could you be any different if you were driving a car instead of the motorcycle? Oh, good question. But I don't know. I mean, I have never drive the car, I think I could feel safer. I think I could feel safer because you don't really feel the same sense of speed. But at the same time, I'm not like worried when I'm driving the motorcycle, like fast, because I'm always careful. Maybe I could feel like more relaxed in the car. Because in the motorcycle, I'm like extra focused. Like I don't even think that much. It's like blank. Head is blank. So I just focus on the road and arcs and everything. But on a car, people feels more relaxed. I think we can talk. Yeah, I can talk on the motorcycle.
Who is your favorite Batman villain and why?
Batman.
I have returned.
Did you get an enlightenment question in the way?
I don't know. Alright, time to perform the maneuver. Oh, I need to turn off the brake. Alright, here we go.
Oh, you're just gonna turn.
Here we go.
Oh no.
Here we go. Alright, where was that turn?
Very close.
I'm turning left, everyone. I will need, as a truck, I need to make wide turns. So
Thanks
please,
for the light.
please be mindful.
So yeah, Mimi was wondering what kind of like car driver could you be?
What kind of a car driver?
Vaya recto.
Yeah.
Is this a trick question?
Mantente a la derecha.
Because aren't cars just cars?
I mean, how do you behave in the road? Hey, Lady Nix, how are you doing?
What kind of a driver am I? Okay.
Yeah, driver.
Okay. You said what kind of a car driver, and I'm like, what? Huh? Cars are cars
Yeah,
are cars are cars.
Like an angry driver, like calm, like I don't know. Do you like to hurry people?
I'm the kind of person who, you know, if life was awesome and amazing, I would install a spotlight in the trunk of my car so that way if anybody drives up to my butt with their high beams on and they're blinding me, I could pop that spotlight out and blind them right back. And there would be lettering sketched into the center of it, so every single time they blink, they see the words "back the fuck off."
I think he's an angry driver.
But generally speaking, I just follow the rules of the road. I follow the rules of the road. If I get there when I get there, I usually leave maybe so that way I arrive an hour before I need to be at my destination if I was trying to get somewhere because of an appointment related thing.
Okay.
Normally I just like the angriest I'll get, I won't get angry at other people while I'm driving. I just call them stupid and continue on my way.
I get it. I mean, you can do the spotlight thing if you want. You can mod the vehicle.
I'm pretty sure I would be arrested for having a very profane kind of a modification on my vehicle. Especially if it led to accidents, because they got blinded so bad. It's okay if they blind me, because, you know, high beams are fine. But if I blind them back, all of a sudden it's a problem.
Do you want the one with a middle finger on it?
Oh,
Yeah,
that would be lovely.
Yeah, that could be lovely. Yeah, I think. Well, I don't drive a car. I drive a motorcycle. I have never drive a car.
Ah.
But I think I'm chill.
Yes, very relatable.
But I'm usually late. So if I use the highway, I can get speedy. If I don't, no, I don't really. I think I really get annoyed by the minor things instead of the big things. So like, I don't know, if someone for some reason doesn't turn on the blinkers.
Oh, their blinkers, yeah.
Yeah, and if the same person does the same thing like 2 times, I'm like, oh, this guy. And I think, and Mimi's saying it Like, I think I get more annoyed when I am driving with Mew Mew than when I'm alone for some reason. I don't know.
I am like,
Maybe I don't know.
like with me, I can be like if I have passengers or not. Honestly, it's not having a passenger. It depends on who the passenger is. Anybody else in the world, I feel like I'm a very chill. But as soon as my dad gets in the car and I have to drive him somewhere, it's like the stress goes through the roof.
Oh.
I feel like I'm being judged on every little thing. I didn't check my mirrors often enough. I didn't look in the mirrors long enough before swapping back away. I'm not following the speed. No, not the speed. Not even that. Not the are we there yet. Like, do you know what the speed limit is? Yes. Then why are you going 5 over? Because that's how everybody else does it.
Yeah.
Like I follow the speed limit for the most part. The only time I ever go over is like maybe 5 over, and that's usually unconsciously
Oh, I get it.
during daytime
they don't-
hours.
I love the lights under the motorcycle. I had one with lights under, like LED lights, and they were amazing.
Hey, it's our
But
destination.
yeah. Is it? Oh, nice. And yeah,
Tunnels!
I think I get more stress with you, Mew Mew, but it's not because of you. I mean, yeah, you are just singing and just enjoying the ride, but I think that when I feel in danger, I get more annoyed when you are there. Because I
Yes.
yeah, it's not a me thing anymore, it's an us thing now.
You know, this is a perfect time to mention the one time I almost got isekai'd. I didn't even know isekai was even a term back then when this almost happened. But I was driving to work one day, and it was raining, and for some reason, my car kept just randomly stopping. It would immediately pick back up after I like provoked the engine enough times, but it kept doing that. And I'm like, you know what? I'll wait until I get to the parking lot at my workplace, and then we'll just, figure it out from there. Well, most of my drive is just straight, so it didn't matter. People behind me would honk their horns when my engine would cut out, and I'd be like, whatever, deal with it. And then I had to make this left turn on this major road. It was a stoplight though, so I would have the protection of the light when necessary. The thing was that when I started crossing it, the light was turning yellow, and everybody loves to just go for it, just go for it.
Yeah.
So I was going for it, and then my car stopped right in the middle of oncoming traffic. And there was a truck coming. Where do you need it? You need it there? I am not doing that one. Not with a reservoir tank. So here I am, trying to tell my engine to get going with this semi-truck barreling down at me.
Oh.
And you know how they say time can just slow down?
Yeah.
I felt like I was looking at that truck for an hour. And then my
You see
engine
your
picked
whole
up.
life.
My engine picked up. I finished the turn as the truck probably just barely missed me by maybe 2 inches. And then I pulled into my parking spot and I went into the office. I walked past all my coworkers. I shut the door to my office and I proceeded to weep. I proceeded to weep.
Wow.
My whole body was shaking so terribly. And then
Yeah,
my
that's an experience.
and then my direct supervisor came and he's like, is everything okay? And I'm like, I almost died. So we called up we called
wow.
up the car dealership and they picked up my car and I got a replacement car. It turned out that my car, my front bumper had been yanked on the the driver's side tire, and that bumper area was protecting a little spout that leads directly to my air filter, and that's why my car kept stopping, because the air filter got soaking wet and flooded with water, and that's why I kept stopping the engine.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds terrifying.
Yes.
I have fell down the motorcycle a couple of times, but it has been always like on low speeds. I got 1% damage on the cargo, by the way.
You did?
Yeah, 1% of damage.
How did that happen?
I have no idea.
How much money did I
have
make?
no
I wasn't
idea.
paying attention.
How do I end the job? Wait.
Reservoir tank. It was in excellent condition. I had no damage. Yeah, I had no damage on that.
How do I?
Interesting.
Oh, there it is.
Wait, how much
No
money did
damage?
you make?
Wow.
How much money did you make on that?
Yeah, I'm trying to check that now.
Okay, that'd be career, and make sure you have delivery log selected in the top tab instead of statistics. Guess yeah, judges you too?
Tell
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
I got 5,681.
Interesting.
There's no damage penalty.
Oh, okay.
And
'Cause
I
that's
got
how
a
much money I
proficiency
made.
Bonus. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Maybe it was just a tiny bit of damage,
It's possible.
like a single scratch. Like nothing to worry about.
And it was a
Another
cargo and
job?
not like, say, the trailer? Yes, another job. I'm good to go. Yeah.
Natural rubber.
Yeah. That was a time I almost died. Among many other times that I almost died, and not counting the times that I did die.
What?
Yes, I've died.
Explain.
I've died 3 times. I'm on my 4th life.
So you have to explain.
I
It.
have to explain.
Yeah, explain.
Okay.
Explain one of those deaths, and I can
I can
then
explain all
one of
3
mine.
deaths.
We go one on one. Explain one of yours, and I explain one of.
Okay. I'm just waiting for the next job, so that way we can actually be on the road while I'm telling the story of
Yeah.
the 3 times I died.
I just took the job, I think.
You almost drowned at 10? Wow. Funny story about that. View the job. What are we taking? Natural rubber, as opposed to what? Artificial rubber?
Yeah. And we are going to another country this time. I forgot which one.
I think that is Austria.
Austria? Yeah.
Yes.
Just a second, I need to remove my hoodie. I didn't.
Yeah. It is always nice to have a buddy to help you prevent the drowning part.
Disfruta del viaje.
Alright. Breaker 19, Breaker 19 to all truckers in the asteroid belt. This is the heavy
I'm
metal
back.
queen. If you see a guy in a red obtuse truck, let me know. That little shit owes me money. Alright, so...
I love this truck. Like with
Ah,
the
there you are, I
golden
see ya.
patterns inside.
Very cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so I will tell you about the very first death. The day I was born coming out feet first. So the doctors were like, we're gonna turn Blue around so that way Blue comes out head first.
Okay.
And in the process of spinning me around so I come out head first, my umbilical cord wrapped around my neck and I was strangled to
Oh.
death.
Wow.
So the day I was born was the day I died.
They had to like do the. Well, what? How did they revive you?
That is the part that the doctors never told my mom, and my dad refuses to tell me. Because
Wow.
as soon as they while they were pulling me out and they noticed that I was being strangled, they sedated my mother.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, that's heavy.
Yes. When she woke up, I was alive again and in her arms. That is the story that I have been told.
Wow.
So
Mantente a la izquierda.
whether the doctors whatever the doctors did, they used the powers of medical science to bring my brain and my lungs and my heart back up in the nick of time, so that way I wasn't like forever dead. Like, I was told like literally 0 heartbeat and 0 brain activity, and they brought me back.
Wow. That's heavy.
And that is the story of how I died the first time.
Yeah, I think I haven't died like that. Yours is wow.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
What?
I think you left a huge scratch behind.
I see nothing. I see nothing.
Are you even trying to look?
I did look. I looked out my window.
okay.
I looked out my window. I looked at my rear, my window, my mirrors. I checked my mirrors. I didn't see nothing.
Okay, okay. I believe you. Yeah, I think the only time that and I didn't die at all, but it was like
Yeah.
a near-death experience,
Buena derecha y
was when I was very young, like, I don't know, maybe 8.
Right.
And I was on vacations with my parents.
salga a la derecha.
And I was on this pool. I was soaking wet,
Mantente
and we went for ice cream. So we
Okay.
went for the ice cream machine, and they asked me, which ice cream do you want? And I was like, I want this one. And I touched the machine with my fingers.
And
And
you
I
got-
felt, and I got like stuck to the machine.
Oh.
And I felt like this ray of electricity
Oh
go
my.
from my fingers all the way up to my head, and then leave through my hair.
Oh my.
And
Wow.
it just, and it just went away, and nothing happened.
Wow.
But yeah, everyone was like frozen still.
Yeah. I can
It was
imagine.
like,
So.
wow.
Yeah.
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 It was crazy. It's crazy.
Are you afraid to deal with like electrical wiring and stuff?
No.
Okay,
I know.
because I feel like every single like major fear I have is related to all the times I died. So the whole getting strangled thing, like I get really unnerved whenever like I feel it's not even like really pressing against my neck, but like sometimes like I'll wear a shirt that has very little flexibility in the
Okay.
collar area, and like I've had a shirt that is completely fine when I'm standing up and all that jazz, but like I'll go to sleep and like maybe the way my body positions, it rubs the front of the shirt up against my neck,
Oh,
and I'll just
get it.
bolt awake and pull
Wow.
pull that shirt away from my neck.
Yeah, it must trigger some
Yeah.
memories there. Wow.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
just my body's like, nope, we're not doing this again.
Yeah, no. We learned from this.
Yes, yes. So the second time I died, the second time I died was from fall damage.
Okay.
Again, I was a baboo. I was a little baboo.
Damn it.
I was. Okay, good. I didn't miss a turn. I was on a kitchen counter for some reason, and
Okay.
for some reason I had in my head that I'm going to do a triple-decker backflip, and I leapt off
Oh, okay.
the kitchen counter, and I landed on the hard surface floor of the kitchen.
Ooh.
Yeah. And yeah, my dad says that I died, and they rushed me to the hospital, and because I guess it's just, you know, when you're that young, your body is
Yeah,
able to recover really well or something like that. So it's just more medical science somehow to set everything into position that once they got the brain waves moving again, like everything was set up so that way, you know, I could recover properly and be alive again. Of course,
So crazy.
this could be my dad grossly exaggerating for storytelling benefits. I don't know. I mean, I was there, but I don't have memories of that age.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I have
so
a very similar experience that, yeah, you reminded me of that.
Yeah.
But then again, it wasn't like a died experience, but I almost did.
Yeah.
When I was young, I really liked Batman. Like when I was 4 years old.
I pegged you. That's why I asked you who your favorite Batman villain was and why. But continue your
The
story.
thing is that I don't really like. I mean, I like Batman, but I don't know much about it anymore. When I was really young, the thing is that my parents made me a Batman suit.
Okay.
A very nice one.
Very cool.
So I was like 5 and 4, and I had the suit. The problem is that they also made like this hook that Batman used.
Oh, the grappling
Like
hook?
yeah.
Yeah.
So the problem is that I thought that I was Batman.
As we
And I
all are.
wanted to, yeah. And I wanted to like climb to the second floor and then jump down all gracefully with my cape. But you know that doesn't happen. So I climbed the ladder, I mean the stairs, and I jumped. I jumped down.
Ooh.
And my mother happened to be there with a basket full of clean clothes. And she caught me.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah.
Fortunate timing.
Yeah. And there was this other time that it's very similar, that's why I'm not stopping, that a neighbor was calling my mom, like screaming at her,
Right.
because I was exiting through the second floor through a window because I
Wow.
wanted to climb the roof with my Batman hook. Yeah. That
Excellent.
was the time I almost died again.
Wow.
I have almost died experience. You just
Yes.
died.
Yes. Yes. We are all survivors in our own way.
Yeah.
And
Tell me the other one.
yeah, so imagine you're surprised when I tell you I died from fall damage, that I have this petrifying fear of heights.
Oh.
Like, there was a time when I was at my first job, and they're like, we need you to climb this scaffolding up like the scaffolding on the roof of our building. We need to climb up 3 stories and set up a camera on the rail up there. And
Oh.
I was up 3 rungs, and I was like, I can't go up any higher. I'm terrified. I was
Oh.
literally terrified, and like, okay, we understand. We'll send somebody else up. It's better that, you know, I feel safe and I don't like kill
Yeah,
myself
Yeah.
trying to climb up a ladder, and my fear causes me to mess up and fall from that height.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, yeah.
Like when Hades told Hercules, no, this one stays. Indeed. So, the third time
it's nice that they didn't force you to go up.
Yeah, very nice. Am I out? No, I'm not out of gas. It's not blinking red. The third time I died, again, little Babu. I don't know if I was at toddler stage yet. I imagine I was, because this was me running around like a crazy person at young age. It was an indoor pool. Hey, have you guys watched Spy Family?
Spy Fan? Oh, the anime? No, I haven't.
Oh, okay, then I can't use that as a reference. Anyways, plot spoilers for Spy Family. Only things turn out differently. So, I was running around an indoor pool area, but it was like I guess it was closed off or something like that. Again, I have no idea how the situation ended up that I was not being supervised heavily. I mean, after all, we are talking about the same person who decided to triple-decker backflip off a kitchen counter. Yeah. And I'm like, I guess for some reason in my brain, I'm like, I can swim or something. And I didn't know how to swim, and I just jumped into the deep end. Like, I didn't know, I didn't, like, it was probably like one of those half and half pools, like it's half deep, and the other half is like you can walk around standing up if you're a tall enough person.
Yeah.
And I ended up in the deep end. and
Wow.
my lungs were completely filled with water, and my heart had stopped by the time that they pulled
Wow.
me out. And I guess about after, well, obviously they had to pump the water out of my lungs in order to start getting the air in. After enough resuscitational practices, I guess by probably the now fired lifeguard, or the hero lifeguard. It depends, I don't know. Whoever was in charge. Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Hey,
So,
hi, thanks for the lore.
Yeah, no surprise that I still have not learned how to swim, and I absolutely hate deep water. Like,
Is
I will
that
go.
why you are a gremlin?
I'll just absorb the water and make more of me until it's all gone. The water will go away because it'll get replaced by more me's, right?
It's a defense mechanism.
Defense mechanism. I'll just make more of me to save myself.
Oh wow, that's crazy. Yeah, that's wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I have like this idea, like I have the game. You know the game Subnautica, right? Are you aware of that game?
Yeah.
I had this idea, like, because I actually own it, and I'm like, what if I do like a stream of Subnautica, and I just open up the game and I open up the life port and I look at all the ocean and I'm like, huh. Okay, everybody, this has been the Subnautica stream. Thank you all very much for watching, but we're out.
Wow.
I thought about that.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
might
it
be
could
immortal.
Like a nice, yeah. It may be a nice way to get rid of the fear, but you have to like go step by step.
Yes. I don't think I'm immortal. I just have a heavy cautionary take on everything I do now. Because like,
is asking me if you have thalassophobia.
no, I do not have thalassophobia. I do not have what does it mean? I'm pretty sure that means
Yeah.
like the horror of the fear of
The
like,
things in the water.
the things in the water. I'm more afraid of the things that my mind makes up that are in the water.
Wait, Mimi is saying something, but I can't read it because it went up. It's the persistent and intense fear of deep bodies of water, such as the sea, oceans, or lakes.
It's like
So maybe you do have thalassophobia?
it's like a complicated thing. It's not like I'm afraid of the water. I'm like I have to feel super duper safe to approach it.
Oh.
It's like the same thing with heights. Like on one hand, you'll like I told you how the whole thing with on the rooftop and climbing the scaffolding.
Uh-huh.
It would have probably been completely different if they had like a cable suit or whatever, so that way if I did fall, there was no way I was going to die or anything, because the cables would catch and I would be suspended in the air. It's not like when I get in an airplane to fly halfway across the country, I look out the window and I'm like, I don't have panic attacks like that. No, I don't have any of that. Because I feel safe enough. Now, if suddenly, all of a sudden, the plane started lurching around and the captain's not saying, guys, it's just turbulence, we're sorry for this. If it's just unexplained, shaking, wobbling, stuff like that, everybody else is panicking too. Yeah, I would probably be scared out of my mind too, because everybody else is reasonably scared out of their mind.
Yeah, that's a collective fear.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I'm afraid of anything, like, specifically. I used to be very afraid of bees because I'm allergic to bees. And I have been
Oh,
stung twice.
wow.
And I have very good luck because, like the... How do you say it when your limbs start getting bigger? Because of the stung?
Oh, what's it called?
Swollen.
Yeah, swelling. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
you start swelling up.
Yeah. So you can get like external swelling or internal swelling. So yeah, I got like a stung on the arm, and the arm started to get swollen very quickly. But if I had bad luck, I could get internal swelling, which means like the
and then,
lungs
yeah.
and all of that, and then I just die.
Yeah, that would be
So-
very not good.
Yeah, so the 2 times I got stung by one, it was just external. The second time was more dangerous because it was on my ear. So
Yeah,
my
that's a lot
face,
closer to.
my-
Yeah.
My head was swollen like in 30 minutes. And we rushed to the hospital, of course, and they gave me like a medicine and everything's fine.
Right.
But if I let it be like another hour, I was going to be
Yeah.
unable to breathe.
Yeah, and that's definitely doom right there.
Yeah. Okay, so I is saying I'm afraid of the deep ocean. I'm afraid of what's down there. What I think it's down there and how helpless I am in the water. My anxiety and fear spikes.
Right. I can
I think we
understand.
know like 5% of the deep ocean,
Yeah,
which is nothing,
pretty much.
and that's scary. That's very scary. I'm ready to take another job anyway.
I'm still parking.
Yeah. So I think I made peace with the bees like maybe a year ago because we were doing the garden at News House,
Right.
and the more flowers we planted, the more bees there were. And I just realized that I was unlucky, and the bees are just doing.
They're
their
just being
business.
bees. And you just
Yeah, they're, like,
unfortunately
moving from flower to flower.
yeah, it's more like, you know, they have their defense mechanisms and
Yeah,
triggering things, and they're just, you know, they're just trying to live their own lives.
and now I kind of like them, and it's like, oh, a bee, and I take pictures of them. Weird. Like
I
got
used to
already-
be the exact opposite. I'd be like, a bee comes up to me, I'm like, that's fine, this is whatever, as long as I don't provoke it. Oh wait, do I need to go that way? I needed to go this way. That's where I needed to go to straighten it out. Yeah, I used to be like, yeah, whatever, bees, whatever. You do your thing, I'll do my thing. I'll just stay still so you can be all like, whatever, in my face, and we'll go about our different ways. And then, there was probably no thing. I just probably read somewhere about horrible,
Oh.
atrocious bees that are like mean-spirited in the way that wasps and hornets can be.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then
Oh,
that
that's-
kind of went to my head.
That's the problem of reading too much sometimes. Like, you get to know about this specific kind of bee that only is flying around in certain places in certain times, but your brain is like, no, bees are dangerous now. All of them. Every
Yeah,
single one.
every single one of them's got to be one of these. You never know.
Yeah, that's so funny. That's so funny. It's like my family does this so much that I don't know, like they have a cough and I don't know, they start Googling and it's like, seems like I'm dying. And it's, Mom, you just have a cold. It's gonna be fine. If you feel a little bit worse, go to the doctor and we're gonna
Right.
give you some other medicine and you'll be fine.
We can help you grow. We're the bank. Trust us with your money. Uh-huh. Thank you. Moving on. Sorry, it took a while.
Do I take a job now?
You can take a job now.
We're gonna move from Austria to the Czech. How do you pronounce that? Czech
Sh-
Republic?
Czech Republic. Czech Republic.
Okay.
Czech
Yeah.
Republic.
Or we can go from Germany to Belgium.
Belgium.
Oh. Yeah, those are the options. From Germany to Czech Republic, from Austria to Czech Republic, or going from Germany to Belgium.
What
do you
are we
think's better?
hauling?
Okay, from Austria to Czech Republic is track.
Blue is lucky. Yeah. Yes, I have
Another
super amounts of
reservoir
luck.
tank.
I have super amounts of luck, and I have good karma. I have karmic justice on my side, and all it costs me is a good sleep schedule.
Having a good sleep schedule is hard.
You can thrust all the cables all the time, as they did Owen Hart down. Ooh.
Alright, I chose a delivery. We're gonna deliver industrial cable reel. And it's a heavy load, so let's go.
Okay. I trust you. By the way, was any of this in your conversational topics? Oh no, no network connection. I lost network connection.
Did you? No. Let's see what happens. Is it loading or something? I think it happened just when I clicked take job.
Yeah, I see. It says you're on the job and you're having an unknown job. Let me reopen. No.
Maybe...
Yeah, it says no detailed job. You have. Yeah.
It still doesn't load though, so now I'm.
You're in? Okay, let me just double check.
I'm in now.
Nope, nothing. I got nothing from you.
What if you try rejoining the?
Yeah, I was about to say I'm gonna leave the session and then I'll just rejoin and maybe hopefully that'll fix it.
Let's see what happens.
I accept the progress. I haven't accepted yet. I haven't gone in yet.
Nothing has. No, I think I have like a few conversational topics, but I kind of merged them all into one. Do you want me to go ahead?
Sure. Because I think the only thing we ever talked about was like, how do we find each? No, I rejoined and you have nothing here.
Oh, that sucks. Let me see.
You know what would really suck is if you have to abandon the job and you have to pay that fine, that penalty fine. Oof.
Oh, it's almost all my money. Wow. Yeah, whatever.
You know what? This is a scam from the bank to get you to take out a loan.
Oh, that's what it is. I didn't even open the letter. That's why. Wow.
You know what? Here's what we'll do.
Right.
You continue on your job, and I'll just do a job on my own.
No, I just left. I left them.
Oh.
So I'm gonna take another one, and it's fine.
All of a sudden, everything is fine again. Wait, could it be? Maybe the area you were in was an area I don't have access to.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe I should be the one. Maybe I should be picking the jobs at this point.
Yeah, that
job market. I had just thought about that. All right.
Yeah,
You said you want the highest paying job. Frankfurt to Klagenfurt, which is Germany to Austria again, and we are hauling a ventilation shaft.
Why not?
You know what? I would rather haul garlic from Nuremberg and go to Milan, Italy.
Oh yeah, let's discover new countries.
And we get to drive through Switzerland.
Take the same job. Oh yeah, yeah. I can take the job. I think it was the deals.
Yeah, that's probably it. I probably should.
Right.
Go ahead.
I was just going to change the subject to like my conversational topics. So
Conversational topics, yes. All right. The exit is on the left.
So I didn't think about it. Let me fuse it in my head. Like let me see my little notes.
Gira a la derecha.
Do you believe, or do you think, I don't know, if it is possible for the humanity to end due to any like supernatural cause, or maybe something that could happen, let's say zombie apocalypse, aliens, or maybe artificial intelligence?
Okay.
Do you think any of them could happen?
Okay, I'm gonna simplify this. Do I think humanity could end because of something?
Yeah.
I would have to say yes, because I mean, based on our current technology, where are we gonna go? We have nowhere to go. We're stuck on our planet right as of right now. And the people, if anybody goes out into space right now, if they somehow launch out, they're not gonna make it very far.
No.
We don't really have much in the way of planetary survivability is the word I'm going to use.
I like it.
We don't have terraforming capabilities at that level yet. And that would require a lot of people, and I'm pretty sure we don't have enough rockets to get enough supplies and enough people to make that a sustainable thing. They're gonna die out in space at the end of the day, in my opinion. So
Yeah, and like we need to be sure that they can go and maybe come back.
yeah,
Keep sending supplies for like I don't know, like hundreds of years.
yeah, yeah.
Because we have everything here available because there's been thousands of years of
Yeah.
setting the ground for what we have.
Yeah, we have all the groundwork of all of human history behind us.
Yeah.
And I
But do you
mean,
think like I don't know if it ends, like could it be maybe a zombie apocalypse?
oh no, I'm buffering. That's probably just my video.
Oh shit.
This is just my video. It's my phone being catching up. It happens. As
Oh,
long as
okay.
chat keeps going, I'm fine. But reasons beyond, you know, something stupid like, you know, some idiot world leader deciding to declare war on everybody and missiles go flying
Yeah.
everywhere. Outside of that
That's
possibility.
boring. That's
Yeah.
boring. Impossible, but boring.
Mantente a la izquierda.
I mean, we've already had attempts at the virologist biological weapon
Yeah.
trying to kill us. That's already taken his hand. It's probably going to keep getting worse, but, you know, it depends on how much worse everybody wants to make it. I don't know why there are people like, you know what, let's make an even deadlier strain of this thing. Because, you know,
Yeah.
why? Why are you doing that? Anyways,
Science.
if we don't do it, somebody else will. Yeah, you say that about everything, don't you? Anyways,
Yeah.
zombie apocalypse, I suppose it would kind of depend on the thing because, you know, that's kind of been evolving away from what we would consider the traditional undead into, like, people being infected with, like, a severe case of rabies and stuff like that. And, I mean, look, I'm just surviving that off the 28 days path. Now, I know you're probably talking about, like, you know, actual undead zombies, rotting
Yeah,
flesh
like
and
The
stuff like
Walking
that.
Dead,
Yeah.
like- yeah. The classical boring zombie, like not like a mutation or.
I always hate when people
Strong
want to make
zombies.
zombies fast. The point of the zombies being... the point of the zombie apocalypse is not the zombies themselves. It's that... It's the usual thing. We humans are going to end up destroying our own selves because we get greedy and survivalist enough, and, you know, we can't just be happy to outdo the zombies. I mean, that's kind of like one of the reasons why I like the World War Z book. Because we all came
Okay.
together in the end and overcame the zombie threat. And even still, we are still dealing with zombies surfacing after, like, the whole entire planet literally had to deal with the zombie apocalypse. Yeah. Zombie apocalypse, I feel like... On one hand, I feel like if zombies did become a thing, it couldn't happen because there's too much media and stuff and people would behave appropriately. I feel like politicians would be the one that really messed the whole thing up.
Oh.
Because politicians, honestly, you know politicians are going to try to take advantage of the situation to earn themselves their positions even more hardcore.
Positions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But, so you're not thinking like a very fast spreading zombie apocalypse? Like I have seen some movies like where one zombie turns and then it's like 20 more in like 5 minutes. There's no amount of media that can save you from that, I think.
I thought I saw two cars slam into each other, flip, and then they just disappeared. And I'm thinking maybe I just saw two raindrops on my windshield getting wiped away, and that's what I actually saw. And I just wanted to see two cars crash into each other.
Okay.
Honestly, I feel like for the zombie thing, it would have to be kind of like on the level of like Resident Evil, where somebody creates the zombies and then unleashes them en masse. It can't be like there's one thing and then it spreads from there. Unless it's like a small community and people aren't like caught off
Yeah,
guard.
like a small town. Yeah.
Yeah, like the only other thing would probably be like if it's gonna spread in a city, it has to like start in like a residential area or like maybe I guess a very tightly packed. It has to be like in a building where people are just like they don't really know each other, and so they get weirded out when like, oh, this person's just being weird, but I don't really know them because they're from that department, so I don't normally deal with that department, so whatever.
Maybe it's the alcohol again. This kids.
Yeah. That guy just bit me, but he's not. He smelled. I could smell the alcohol on him. Whatever.
Yeah, it's the usual thing.
Like I feel like you couldn't. I feel like a zombie couldn't spread really. Aliens, though. I mean, I guess we have to do the motivation. But if aliens are just like, hello humans, we're here to just fuck you up because we feel like it, or any other reason that who cares? Because aliens are not going to have our own thought processes as much as we would like to think that they would, based on media and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, aliens could literally just them existing, them being alive could probably do something that we can't even imagine them harming us. Like that's actually kind of one. I'm basing this completely on a book I read, where they're like,
okay.
What if there was an alien and it just being alive? It just emits radioactive waste.
Okay.
What are we gonna do? The first people are gonna just die of radiation poisoning because Yeah. And I mean,
very quickly.
Very quickly. And then what? We're gonna be like, sorry, we can't approach you unless we're wearing these safety suits, and that might just offend the aliens, and they just kill us anyways. And that's not even taking into account like the fact that they're walking around would have environmental impact because of how highly radioactive they are. Yeah.
I liked it that you mentioned like the way of thinking, because I was watching this video with Mew Mew the other day, like humans trying to understand like animals' intelligence, and we can only try to understand it based on our intelligence, and we're not the same species.
Yeah.
So I think if aliens are a thing, and I believe they must be, it's gonna be like a whole other level of that. Like if there's an alien civilization with technology and stuff, the way of thinking is not gonna be the same. Like must be very different.
Pretty much. And I mean, that's not even taking into account like they might have completely different ways of sensing out everything. They might not, like we're so heavily on terms of like visual and auditory sensories.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, we have taste and touch and smell, but like most people day to day are going to rely more on their eyes and their ears, and even them people fail constantly. Honk the horn, we're in the tunnel. Anyways, maybe the aliens are only able to sense existence itself through like some sort of, maybe they sense existence through radio waves. How are we going to communicate that? How they could have like completely different technology advancements, and people are like, oh yes, they'll just share their technology with us. Like, yeah, but how are we supposed to translate technology made by people by an alien species that only knows how to exist through, say, an interface that reacts through senses of
that we don't have.
Yeah,
we don't know how to use.
Yeah, it's kind of like how dogs and cats and other animals have like these bladders, these scent bladders to mark territory, and we have no idea. We can't even sense that kind of stuff as humans.
Gladly. Can you imagine?
No, I cannot.
Hello, Blue. Let me smell you.
I mean, I swear, there are people in my day-to-day job. I can tell how close a person is because of how much perfume or cologne they dunked on themselves. Like, have you tried a thing called bathing? Have you tried soap, body wash? Do you really, like, I swear it feels like people just dunk entire bottles of scents on them, thinking that's.
I hate it.
Yeah.
And when it's on a bus or a closed, like an office. I don't know. It's so difficult to breathe. I
Yes.
hate it.
Yes.
I hate it.
Thankfully, I haven't had to deal with that in like fellow employees and stuff like that. But it's always like, you know, clients and stuff walking around,
No.
and I have to like walk past them or something like that, and I can smell it. It's like I can't. I want to leave this area, but I can't because I have to do this task before I can leave. But this person, this client, is here, and I can't just be like, "Could you please fuck off, please," until I leave. The amount of things I would say if I could just say them, but you know,
Oh,
I have to be polite
like-
and
it's-
do social
yeah.
norms.
it's like the meme about the corporate mails. Like, dear Blue, I really wanted to take note of the mail I sent you like a week ago. It's really urgent. Thank you. Regards, Ruinah. And you really want to say, can you please read the shit that I sent you like a fucking week ago? It's just 2 lines of text. Can you, damn it?
Dear Eruo, with regards to your previous message that you had just sent me 12 minutes ago, I am pondering upon the situation of which, what did you send me in the original message? Because I got nothing.
Yeah. And it's there, but you just deleted it, and it's an excuse.
It just ended up in my spam folder.
Oh yeah. Well, I never sent it. It's on my. What's
Or
the name?
maybe it was like an attachment and it looked like it was attached, and so you hit send, but it wasn't like finished like attaching itself.
Yeah. Shit like that happens. I hate it.
I've had that
I'm the-
happen. I send
I'm the kind of person that forgets to attach the attachments all the time.
like I've tried to
Okay.
I've sent like I've sent emails to myself because that's how I get my phone photos. I send an email of the photos to myself so that way I can just download them from the email off my email from my computer.
Okay.
And sometimes I just hit the send before the phone finishes attaching the photo, so I get like a quarter of a
Oh.
photo, and I'm just like, what is this? Why didn't it go through? What messed up? And I remember, oh yeah, it's a
Yeah.
phone. It's not gonna work as fast as my computer.
Yeah, phones are still very slow.
Yes.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So-
That's. Go ahead.
Let's think about like human-made stuff, like artificial intelligence. It's been
Nanomachine,
getting,
son.
like more popular by the day. Do you believe that humanity could end like iRobot style, or what's the name? Yeah,
Terminator?
iRobot maybe. Yeah, all of
iRobot
that
has.
because of
Yeah.
artificial intelligence. You think it could doom us eventually?
I mean, I feel the doom won't be because the robots take over. I feel the doom is because,
People?
Preparado para girar a
again,
la
yeah,
derecha.
people.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to be something dumb. You know why? Because it's going to be we invent sex bots and humans stop copulating, and you know humanity goes extinct because we forgot to make babies. Everybody closes themselves in with their sex bot. The sex bot with the perfect everything.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, like pandas say Mew Mew. Like, we watched a video the other day that
Like they're
pandas
literally
are going extinct because they don't wanna keep going. Like, they just wanna eat bamboo that their bodies can't process. It's the only thing that they eat, and they don't bother like having a good time with their partners to have babies.
yeah. I mean, maybe the pandas are just like, you know what? Life in the current century is not good for us. We are completely fine with going out. Let us go out
Yeah.
gracefully instead of you dragging us out.
Vaya recto.
It's kind of
Yeah,
like dying. Okay, I'm reaching here, but let me reach. Let me cook. The dinosaurs saw the meteor coming, and they're like,
Okay.
"Fuck." We could go out and let the historians of the future be like, "Man, look at these giants, these crazy things that used to exist, and they got wiped out by a meteor. What would you rather? Would you rather die out because of some random disease, or would you like to go out because a meteor hit the planet and cooked everything?
Yeah, that sounds way cooler.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Civilization wiped out by the common cold, or civilization mocked out because a meteor just swung over and said goodbye humanity.
Because the sun exploded.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, isn't it exploding actually?
Yeah, the sun's been exploding for forever.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's always exploding. It's just like, you know, it'll hit this point where it'll become like a supergiant, at which point I don't know. I'm like, I don't know like the math or anything at that particular level, but it's either probably going to either start, you know, Mercury and Venus will probably get like either sucked in, or like everything is going. I don't know if everything is going to get kind of pushed out because the gravity starts growing, or if we're going to get, you know, fall into the sun, eventually like swirl into it or whatever. And in the meantime, while we're slowly swirling in, like we're all going to get like super cooked or whatever. And at a certain point, you know, then the sun decides, I'm going to supernova now. But I have to decide, do I want to become a neutral star, or do I want to just collapse into myself and become like, probably just like a dwarf star?
That's nuts.
Or, you know,
That's nuts.
depending on how big it becomes as a supergiant, which I don't know, I don't think it's going to ever get big enough to do where the part where it collapses into itself and becomes a black hole. But, you know, I'm not going to dismiss the possibility.
That's crazy. And
Yeah.
it's crazy how like the littlest, the more little, how do you say it? Change in like the orbit
They're not going to share their
can
tech
make a
with
big
us.
difference. Like, you know, it's starting to become summer for you, right?
Yeah, we're going into the
And
summer
it's-
month.
Yeah, and we're going into winter,
Yeah.
and we are in the same fucking planet.
Yeah.
But it's just because of the inclination of the Earth that makes that. So like
Yep.
imagine like a little more inclination, what could happen? We're doomed. We're doomed. We're done.
I think the planet will adapt, life will adapt an inclination, because after all, how long have politicians been harping about climate change? Remember when they said, remember how they were talking about like, oh no, the ice caps are going to melt. When have I thought there was a time limit. Why haven't the ice caps melted yet? Well, it's climate change now, and it's no longer global warming. We're changing the term to climate change now because, you know,
Oh yeah, that's true.
they keep changing the story because you know, they have to keep selling their scam. It's like now they're
That's
harping
true.
that everybody should start eating bugs. We need to shut down the cattle and the farming industry and the agricultural industry. It's like, excuse me, I don't see you guys eating bugs, so you know, maybe
Yeah, maybe
It-
get it started.
it's like, if it's such an important thing to you, why aren't you practicing what you're preaching, huh?
Yeah.
No, they just
Yeah,
want to be a whole bunch of
politician.
do as I say, not as I do. Oh, we need to talk about climate change as we get in our jumbo jets that put out, in a single trip, more smog and carbon
Yeah.
weight into the air in a single trip than it takes a normal person driving their car in a decade. In a decade.
Thank you, Sedna.
I'm sorry if you
Sedna
believe in this
saying,
stuff.
Let's go global warming.
If you truly are into this kind of thing, and all I can say is I respect your opinion to believe what you want, as long as you respect, in my opinion, to strongly fucking disagree.
No, I don't mind. I don't really have much opinion of these topics because I know there's too much bullshit into them. And at the end of the
Holy
day, I
shit,
think
that's
that-
Are those hot air balloons? Stop
Yeah,
the
they
truck.
are.
Stop the truck. That's amazing. Screenshot. Excellent.
Oh,
All
why
right.
is everything stopped here? Oh,
All right, we can go now.
Yeah, I think
All the
like,
cars
at
passing
the end
me.
of the day, like,
The semi just stopped
Humanity-
in the middle of the highway to take a picture of hot air balloons. Story at
not
5.
dangerous at all. Yeah, I think that humanity is gonna be the end of humanity. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, artificial intelligence, like, I'm sure that eventually someone from the military is gonna be like, what if we start using artificial intelligence to research the best way to kill people?
And that is the
And-
story of I have no mouth and I must scream. There we go.
Is that a something?
It is a horrifying story about an AI that was made to do war. And what people
Yeah.
didn't realize is this computer system hooked up to every single military system and wiped out the entire planet except for 5 people. And those 5 people
Wow.
want to kill themselves and end it, but the robot, who hates humanity so much that if you inscribe the word hate on its 3 billion miles of network coding, that still would not describe near enough how much it hates humanity. But it's keeping these people alive so that way it can inflict unending suffering upon them. It like the
Wow.
AI had pretty much become like this godlike entity that could transform, that could warp reality, and it would use it to torment the last 5 survivors of humanity. And
Wow.
like the story starts with the 5 people on a journey to get a can opener for this can of beans that they have, and it's like they're trying to open because the robot's like, oh, you're starving, here's a can of beans, by the way, the can opener is 150 miles that way, good luck, because it
Wow.
loves the suffering of humanity. And anyways, they get to the can opener, and somehow the robot, I can't remember its name, the AI, I can't remember its
it
name.
was fine. It was fine, said
It
no.
literally had it was like going in like one of its simulated realities, trying to figure out the best way to continue their suffering. That it
Okay.
forgot to keep track of the humans, so one of the guys killed another guy. He's like, wait, he's not watching us. Quick, we can kill each other and end this whole thing. And by the time it was just one person left, the robot realized what was going on and turned the last human into this gelatinous blob that had no limbs. It was just a
Ew.
blob with eyeballs. And hence the title of the story, I have no mouth and I must scream.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's funny how that implies that artificial intelligence can get to a point of starting to feel.
Yeah.
Like I didn't get that far. Like humans are going to research the best ways to kill other humans with artificial intelligence, but like if artificial intelligence gets to start like feeling,
Vaya recto.
like what's gonna happen?
I mean, there's so many different ways, because you got the iRobots, you got the Detroit Become Humans, you got the I don't even
Oh,
no
yeah.
Terminators don't actually feel. They just feel like, you know what? The best way to save humanity is just to completely wipe them out. They can't die if they're all dead, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm certainly saying I feel like without AI we have very effective ways to kill us all. We do, but they are gonna still research for that. Like,
yeah.
how do we kill lots of people with less, I don't know, environmental damage?
Sorry, I'm
How
getting
do
all
we-
inspired here.
How do we kill, I don't know, every single human of a country, like without, I don't know, spending too much money?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's gonna happen. It's
Yeah.
gonna happen. That's
Meanwhile, people are freaking out over people making AIs who can duplicate other people's voices.
crazy. Yeah.
You want to hear 3 American presidents argue over which is the best starter Pokemon? There's a video on it.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think like our generation, it's not gonna suffer the consequences of heavy AI
Yeah,
or
if anything, it'll probably be
zombies and
like
stuff. Yeah,
it'll probably be like 2 or 3 generations away, and hopefully they're smart enough to stop squabbling over stupid social issues and get back to like the bigger picture.
Hopefully.
Like,
But I think like a catastrophe needs to happen before that. Before everyone starts thinking like, okay, we need to survive as a whole.
I don't know. Some people already look at the current social climate and see it as a catastrophe.
Yeah, but it's not like actively happening.
Oh.
Like,
I mean,
like, I don't know.
I guess that makes sense because like people talk about it and I see it in the news and videos and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, it hasn't happened to me, so it can't be that bad, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that's a case for a lot of people. Like, it's not happening in my area, so it can't really be that bad. And yet,
I have plenty of water.
And yet, I guess, you know, there's still people out there throwing jars of piss at people because, you know, art.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually nuts.
I don't know.
Yeah,
All I can
think,
say-
like, something really awful needs to happen on a global level, like a meteorite, or I don't know, like a virus that is gonna wipe us, like, I don't know, 2/3 of the population.
Can we have World War III already? We've been overdue for a world war, right?
No, let's wait. I want a peaceful life. I wanna.
No. I'm just like
regular
saying that.
job.
I'm saying that in a sense of like, you know, like right now. Oh man, I can't say that. I don't know. Are you aware of the Great Depression that America had between World War I and World War II?
Kind of.
Yeah, I feel like
Kind
I
of.
feel like I kind of feel like I'm in that spot.
Okay. Yeah, maybe. Mimu says we had a pandemic. We did, but I mean, humanity is not gonna change unless something more terrible happens. Like actually losing what we call society now. Like no more politicians. It's just people. When people becomes just people, is that when we're gonna start thinking like, shit, we need to actually survive.
Right.
I think. It's, yeah, heavy. Yeah.
Where are
you
you?
just reminded me, or I'm still an hour away. Yeah, I'm not very
Oh.
far from you.
Okay. That means you didn't see anything. Not yet, anyways.
No.
You don't have to worry about
Yeah,
anything, though. You're fine.
No, okay, thank you. Yeah, you just reminded me of like a year before the pandemic, I was hospitalized because I got meningitis. Is that the English name?
Yes.
Yeah. And I spent like 2 weeks in the hospital. I was fine. But when the pandemic like came, I was like, I don't wanna be at the hospital again. Like,
No.
it's not a nice experience, even if you're not dying.
Yeah.
People doesn't understand that because they haven't been through it. Like
Yeah.
they think like it's gonna be like I'm gonna be sick on a bed, and it's no, it's not like that.
No, it's
No.
not pleasant at all.
Mantente a la derecha.
No.
And I have not been hospitalized.
Like you can't sleep, and feeling sick it's not how you
Give me my map back,
describe
please.
that.
Okay, good. This is the right way.
Like, I understand people with headaches now. And I don't mean headaches, I mean like migraines.
Migraines, got it.
Yeah, migraines. Like I didn't understand them before because I thought, oh, it's just a strong headache, but it's not. It's not a strong headache. It's much more than that. Of course, I experienced something much more than a migraine,
Right.
but I understand them now. Like they feel like puking or not waking up or looking at the lights. It's painful, and yeah, it
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
Happens. It's not a strong headache.
I've never had a headache
heavy stuff.
before, or a migraine.
Not even a headache? Like
No, not even a
light
headache. No, I've never felt like anything like that. Like I've read like what a headache is supposed to be like, and I'm like, I've never felt anything like this before. And I don't know if it's just like maybe the things that can lead up to a headache. Maybe I just have never had that process go through. And the way I just handle the things that could lead to a headache, maybe I just have a different way of like expelling that out of my body.
Yeah, because I was thinking about stress.
Y vuelve a salir a la
Like
derecha.
stress can easily lead to a headache.
Yeah, like I feel like every single time like it's like stress can lead to headaches. I'm like, well, I have large amounts of stress sometimes, but maybe because I do the video game thing at such a capable level that my stress does not ever build up in that regard that it would ever blossom into a headache / migraine or whatever. I don't know. I have discovered Mireta, Milan. Sorry, I like Milan discovered popped up, and then in the bottom left corner, the achievement Imperator 1 out of 25 popped up. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Why?
Yeah, and I'm right behind you.
Gira a la izquierda.
Yeah. Near-death experiences. Crazy.
Gira a la derecha.
I almost froze
I
to
don't know
death one
how.
time.
How?
It was my first job. We had to go
Okay.
do training in the
Esté
winter.
preparado para girar a la izquierda.
We had an assigned safe word that we're supposed to say, so that way if
Gira a
we're
la izquierda.
approaching the part where we are in a dangerous condition because of the cold climate, we're supposed to say
Okay.
something. And apparently everybody around me decided to ignore me when I was saying the safe word until the trainer in charge of the
Ooh,
exercise
wow.
noticed that I was not getting up off the ground. They had literally pulled an entire
Wow.
van with 8 people. I had like 8 different people taking off their coats and throwing them on me. I had a high-level management person, like I was like in a room with a high-level management person, rubbing my feet to get them warmed back up.
Wow.
I had like mid-level managers making me soup and covering me in blankets and putting like bags of warm water, not hot water, warm water.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And yeah. I
Wow.
thankfully did not have to lose anything because of frostbite or anything like that, so that's nice.
Yeah. Wow.
How did I mess this up? It's fine. I'll turn around.
So speaking of like kind of surviving,
Yes.
if let's say society ends as we know it, due
Civilization
to,
has
I don't know,
collapsed.
yeah, zombie apocalypse or I don't know, aliens or whatever.
Something
Do
happened.
you think? Yeah. Do you think you, specifically you, could survive?
It depends on where I... Because I could always just say, it depends on where I am and what resources I have available and what allies I may or may not have.
Nah, let's say you are around with.
Because I can definitely I could probably tell you, like, right now, in my current living condition, I could probably survive maybe... I would say I would give myself a good 2 weeks.
Wow.
I'll give myself 2 weeks.
Do you mean like because of the amount of food that you have and water?
Yes.
Wow. And if you manage to like... Oh, that's a nice question, Mew Mew. Like, pick 2 VTuber friends to help you survive and why?
Um...
Was it too difficult?
Well, let's see here. I guess Dad would be on the top of the list as much as I probably don't want to have to rely on that, but he would know enough to make us survive a little bit longer.
Who? Sorry?
My dad.
No, but you have to pick two vtuber friends.
2 friends?
Two vtuber friends, yeah.
Oh, VTuber friends.
Yeah.
Let's call it boric acid. Is that fine?
Yeah, why not? I'm still parking, by the way.
Oh, okay. Let me know when you're done.
I'm done.
VTuber friends. Well, I can't pick Legorn because he's not a VTuber.
Okay.
I probably wouldn't pick him anyways because we'd probably get to that part where we would actually argue with each other.
Yeah, and kill each other due to something not important.
Comencemos.
Comencemos. Oh my gosh, that's a difficult question. Because I feel like, honestly, I feel like I would be the person to die first because I pissed somebody off unintentionally. I'm not afraid to admit that. I know my weaknesses. I know I would cause some sort of dispute. Even though I would probably myself be like, I didn't think it would cause drama to the level that would cause us to, like, literally come to life and death blows. Yeah.
Yeah, that can happen. Then again, humanity could be the end of... Oh shit.
Yes? What happened? You get hit in the car?
Experience. Almost. I did it.
See, the funny thing is the word friend, because I have this super long, complicated social stick.
Okay.
Because, you know, it's not like what person might say, I consider Blue a friend. And on my level, I could be like, this is a person whose name and face I can recognize and match up.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, people that you hang out with, or you know who they are, and you have fun with them. It's like, yeah, like people.
Yeah.
Like actual friend, it's like an important title.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And like
Yeah.
Legogorn is probably the one person who is probably best equipped into the slot of what people would call the best friend forever slot.
Okay.
Yeah. But I still feel like I would say something and he would kill me.
Yeah.
Even though it's like, you know, we're fighting for survival. And I would be like, you packed the utensils wrong. This is not very organized. And he'd be like, enough with this shit. Just stabs me.
Yeah, it's like the minor inconveniences on a survival situation that could lead to
Like,
death.
and this is like even with me knowing that, you know, I don't care who, I don't know this phone number. Go away. You know what? I bet it's just somebody calling me who has no idea. I hate when I get phone numbers from people and it's just like, it's from the area. I'm like, I don't recognize the phone number and nobody should have that number. Go away.
Yeah, just a spam.
Anyways, you know what? I'll be honest. Let's see here. I would put Professor Ascarid in there because, not for survival or anything like that, but I've noticed that in our collabs.
For sacrifice.
No, I mean, if he wants to be slower than me when we're trying to run away from some dangerous thing, then so be it. That's his choice. But honestly, it's like on the level of I recognize that even during our Resident Evil 6 collabs, that I kind of just like, I was awake and I had energy. He wasn't like a person who was draining energy. He was like a person who was kind of like giving me energy to keep going.
Oh, that's deep.
Yeah.
That's deep.
It's the kind of thing, like, if you... Is the bar up? Excuse me. Oh. That's interesting.
Did you see the helicopter?
Where?
Just a few meters behind you. There was a helicopter and police cars.
No. I didn't see them.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like after our collabs, when we were like winding down, we would just keep talking for like maybe 3 additional hours. It's like
a nice thing to say, yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
it's the kind of thing where I'm a person who typically plans stuff and I just execute it, and like I just want to do more stuff with Iscariot.
Oh, that sounds so cute.
I don't swing that way, by the way.
No, I know. It's fine.
It's the kind of thing that I guess gets attached to the if we go back to the MBTI, if an INTJ is making plans and they're involving you in their plans, then you know they care about you.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
If I'm planning something and it's just kind of like I'm making backup plans and backup plans of those backup plans to take into account that, you know, yeah. And I mean, like, that's kind of just been kind of like a thing with the whole VTuber group that's kind of exploded just by learning that Lunecra was starting to do VTuber and streaming, and then meeting you and Mew Mew and Iscariot and Alchemist and and all that, and then now Stren as well, and just the expanding cycle of the community. It's like my brain just like planned things like, and I like to do the whole thing when I try to describe my plans. Like I like use a roadmap. Like I have like five major highways of like life plans, and each of those roads has off ramps to take an accountability to, you know, changes and stuff like that. That, you know.
Okay, that's wow.
What, you don't think I don't plan things out 5 years in advance and then take into account the possible? You know, I had plans when the pandemic happened, and it was like, oh, the pandemic happened. We're all completely on lockdown. This is great. I don't have to worry about all the people interferences in my plans anymore. We are now pulling off on this ramp where everything is no longer being interfered by outside humans because they're probably all locked away in their homes. Thank God for that.
Yeah, I have known you for like so little, but yeah, I know that you make plans for like long-term plans. and I think the difference between you and me, like, I don't really make plans. I have goals, but I don't have a plan for them.
Oh.
But if the goal or the or kind of plan changes, I feel like upset.
Wow.
So, yeah, I don't have like a plan. I mean, like, yeah, the goal is streaming with Blue.
Yes.
Trucks.
Yes.
But I don't make like a plan for it, like a step-by-step plan. But if the goal changes or fails, I'm like, oh, I don't like it. I don't like this.
Yeah, I mean, well, let's take into account, like, oh my God, this is going to be so in-depth. Please follow if you can. When did this happen? I think this was maybe... when was it? When did we have that discussion where you, again, attempted to persuade me to watch Hunter x Hunter? Sorry, I realized I had to turn here, so I just had to cut across 4 lanes of traffic. Alright, from that timeline, that was when I had the inspiration, and I thought, like, maybe 2 days before, I thought of, like, because I was thinking about Mew Mew's art, and I'm like, oh, that's so amazing, and stuff like that. So my brain just immediately starts planning out all sorts of things in advance. This happened the last time I ran into the friend who I commissioned to make my banner and stuff like that. I started, like, making this entire workload of stuff. So, like, my brain was like, oh, what if, instead of, like, doing my normal thing for a thumbnail, what if, like, I described something and Mimi did, like, the thumbnail art or something like that. So I was like, what would be, like, a simple thing? And I immediately thought of keep talking and nobody explodes, because it's just like design a box that has wires and buttons on it as the device that needs to be disarmed, and you just have a person with a book, the disarm manual, talking to the person who's disarming the bomb with appropriate emotions and stuff like that. So of course, like, I was thinking about that, and I was like, well, first of all, I also have to get Iscariot. And I'm like, Iscariot, do you want to do the game? First of all, I don't even own the game, and I'm already making plans around the game that I want to do a collab with. So I have to like buy the game, create the thumbnail, and all that stuff. I like start planning all that out well in advance, and I haven't even talked to Iscariot and seen like if he would be even okay with playing the game. But like I create those kind of goals. But like whenever somebody comes up to me, it's like, where do you see yourself in like 5 years working in our company? It's like, do you have the time for me to explain the 5 different paths?
I usually don't have an answer for that. It's so difficult. I'm like,
because like I could be like, I could enter in as I definitely don't see myself in a manager position because I hate dealing with people, but I will probably be like a highly valued employee who gets work done in a timely and efficient manner and stuff like that. Now, whether that means I am now working in the logistical area of your thing, or maybe I'm overseeing like the bloody blah of this, that, the other, you know, anything that particularly appeals to me, like, or, you know, maybe there's a new job that doesn't even exist, but it gets created. Maybe I'm like in charge of that kind of thing, but, you know, I don't have to worry about dealing with people. It's so funny how people
staying away from people.
Yeah, but it's like, they're like, it's so like it's kind of like how I mentioned very briefly, like I was thinking about like the lore when you were asking Iscariot questions like about reapers and repercussions, and revenants and like undead stuff, like brought back life and like repercussions, stuff like that. And like I was like, it was just like a normal day at work. I had lots of like, I was on autopilot for my job because in my opinion the job is so simple that I can autopilot my job and leave like the other 80% of my brain to think about all the other things that I want to do. And I was like, my brain just latched onto Grim Reaper and his charge idea, and my brain was like, let's go, let's make an entire story around this. And I wrote everything in my head. I composed a lot of like, and that probably was not like compositions, like I probably mixed and matched a bunch of musical songs and stuff, soundtracks together. Like I had this really like great classical piano organ thing, and it would mix it up with like some heavy metal drums, bass, and guitar. And I had like this villain kind of planned out. It's not like even like the antagonist isn't even like after world. Wow. Of course you have to have an antagonist.
Yeah, antagonist.
Yeah, and it's not even like world domination or like killing anybody. It was just an opposing ideal, because like I was thinking like, you know, revenants go, like Iscariot was saying, like revenants they cease to exist once they fulfill the thing that brought them back in and stuff like that. So like my brain was like, Ruinah protected Mew Mew, and she's now a revenant, so in order to prolong her existence, maybe she, as you said, she has no idea, she just knows that you're there protecting her, but maybe you know what she needs to do in order to take care of her unfinished business and move on from the mortal realm. And maybe you choose not to do it because you care so much and you want to expand the time together. And so your antagonist is somebody who wants to tell her what she wanted to do so she can move on. And that's where the conflict comes from.
That's so interesting. Wow.
An antagonist doesn't have to be destructive or violent or anything. They just have a opposing ideal. And that kind of goes into like how I was like, well, what if the whole story, the theme of the story is about, you know, remembering important things and knowing who you are, remembering who you are, and that you're much more than you might think you are, because you're so much more. Like, you're a Green Reaper, but you suffer the repercussions because you protected Mew Mew, and now she's as a revenant, and maybe you get so lost in the fact that you're no longer a Grim Reaper that you lose your Grim Reaper powers because you don't see yourself as a Grim Reaper anymore. Even though you still have access to those powers, you just lock them away yourself because of your own belief that you don't have access to them. And just by...
Oh, yeah. I love those kind of stories. Like, I want to recover my powers, but I had them all along.
Yeah. Or maybe you just believe you didn't have them, but you do.
Yeah.
And you just unconsciously just block everything out. And then you get reminded that you're so much more than you are, than you think you are, you know?
Wow.
And of course,
Wow.
I'm really good at just... It's a me thing. I always love writing I always like writing the end of the story first.
Okay.
I always...
I want to know the end.
Yeah.
You have to tell me the end.
Okay, well, there's a big confrontation. You're storming the bad guy's castle.
Okay.
You're there with...
There's a castle? Okay, nice.
You're storming the enemy lands, castle, whatever. The enemy is closing in. Lunecra and Iscariot are there.
Nice.
Yes, of course. I get everybody involved that's within the community, you know. And the enemy forces are there trying to hold you back, and you're like, we will take these guys out, but you know, Iscariot's like, no, you go ahead, Ruinah, we got this. And like Lunecra and Iscariot, I missed the turn. It's fine. They decide they're going to hold the line because as Iscariot is known for being the tank and Lunecra is the healer, so they have it. Iscariot will tank and Lunecra will keep him alive, and they push you forward.
Mimi says that when she learns to draw better, this is gonna happen.
So they say you go forward, and of course you keep going forward, and then at a certain point you run into a barrier that you cannot surpass it. It's beyond your circumstances, and then I show up. And you're like, what are you doing here, Blue? What's this whole thing? Because like the whole thing is just like I come and go as I please because I don't get tied down or whatever. That's just how I am.
Okay.
And I just kind of I gently remind you the thing that I said at the very beginning. It's like every person has a time and a place where they need to be, and I am here when I need to be. And
I'm loving this so much.
And then it kind of cuts away, and the show goes back to Lunecra and Iscariot, and they're just barely holding line, and like Lunecra's making snappy talk, and Iscariot's just kind of loving it. And it's like it gets to the point where it's just like Lunecra's like, "You've always been an idiot," and then like this bad guy is charging down on Lunecra out of her blind spot, but Iscariot sees it, so he intercepts.
Wow.
He intercepts, and he says like the lines like, "But I'm your idiot." And as they continue
Classical.
and as they keep coming bearing down and stuff like that, what happens is the enemy forces are like closing in on the two of them, and then all of a sudden, boom! Here comes attacks left, right, and center, and they're like, "What's going on?" And then like Iscariot's like trying to put it together, and then like a bad guy takes a swing at him, and then like Stren's there blocking with his own weapon. And he's like, I may not be the protagonist of this story, but that doesn't mean I'm not a protagonist in my own way.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
then also Alchemist shows up with his technomancer powers, and I shows up doing eldritch tentacle beast things. Yeah.
Wow.
And then it's like
Wow.
the reason they're there is because like I led them and said like, hey guys, this is how you can best help out the friend group. Go here and help out and stuff like that. And like their job is there, so I move on to get to you. We're at the barrier, and I tear down the barrier through self-sacrifice by overloading my own magical energies and stuff like that, and the barrier is destroyed. But as I'm like fading away from existence, I tell you, remember, you are the Grim Reaper's errand boy. You're not just any Grim Reaper, you are the Grim Reaper's errand boy. And don't you forget that ever again.
Wow, this is so good.
And then you break into I'm just using simple terminologies because this is just like rough draft kind of stuff. So you break into the throne room, you see Mew Mew there, collapsed on the ground, unconscious, so you run up.
No, Mew Mew.
And you're like, what have you done? You bastard, what happened? What did you do to her? And, you know, the bad guy, the antagonist is like, I did exactly what I told you I would do. I would remind her what her purpose is, what she needs to do to move on.
Wow, I'm getting chills.
And then you just reach behind yourself and your scythe manifests out of the darkness with black flames over the blade. And you're like, bastard, I'll make you pay for this. And that's when the music just really starts swelling. You have this massive battle. And eventually the antagonist falls. And then you go over and Mew Mew's like stirring, so you lift her up in your arms and like, I'm here, Mew Mew, I'm here. And she's just like, I know you are. And I remembered what I must do. And she says it.
Oh.
And that's when the shoe drops. The thing that she remembers that she's supposed to do has already happened.
Oh.
It's already happened. Bringing everybody happiness around you.
Oh. And that
You guys, in the process, you guys had solved everybody's, like, I guess, like, side character quests or whatever in terms of game terminology.
Yeah,
you did the character quest for everybody, Lunecra, everybody, and stuff like that. And you realized that it was just like a matter of time that she would realize that, you know, she already did what she wanted to do before moving on.
Wow.
And so, like, while this is happening, she stands up and she kind of walks away, and you're kind of like reaching out, and when she reveals that she's already in, you can see like this glowing golden light around her as she starts to fade away, and you run up and you grab her and to like do like an embrace, and as you embrace her, she just explodes in a spark of golden lights. And the last thing you see before she completely loses it is her looking at you in your eyes and her smile as she says, "Thank you for protecting me all this time."
This is so sad.
And then at that point, as you're just grasping at the light that's now gone, Lunecra and the other, and Iscariot and Alchemist and everybody else shows up in the throne room, and they're like, "Did you do it?" And you're like, "Yes, she's gone."
Wow.
And everybody's just like, "Oh, well." And Iscariot's just kind of like, he does his thing where he's just like, "Well, she was a revenant, and she, you know, these things happen."
Yeah.
And stuff like that, and don't take it so
Destiny and
hard.
stuff.
Yeah. And then as you're there choking back the tears, or maybe you're letting out the tears, I don't know exactly
I'm
yet.
about to cry right now, so
Okay, so you are shedding tears then.
Yeah.
Then you feel a hand on your hand. You feel fingers wrapping around your hand, and you look down and you recognize the hand as Mew Mew's, and you look back and there she is, and you're like, but you've moved on. You did what you needed to do. And she
How?
And she's like, I realize that I have new unfinished business.
Oh.
And she just does that little anime thing where the character bonks themselves on the head and they stick their tongue out and go tee-hee.
Wow. Wow. I love this.
And yeah.
And this is all in your mind? Wow.
Yeah, this was yeah. I mean, it's all rough sketch stuff.
I mean, I think it's more than a rough sketch. But wow, that's crazy. I have a friend like that he can make stories so quickly and so nice that it's crazy. Speaking of, hello Alki, thanks for the raid.
Hello, Alchemy. Hello,
Thanks
Raiders.
for helping me on my quest to save Mew Mew. Mimi saying that she saw many comics in her head as the story unfolded.
Yeah.
Wow, it's crazy. And wow, I really like it. I think this needs to happen. It could be so nice to have like a community fictional story where everyone is involved. That would be amazing. Like,
Yeah, I mean, this is like...
It can happen. It can happen.
Yeah, it can happen, yes. Completely feasible. This would be like the second community story I've ever penned out, I guess. Not...
Wow.
Because I have like there was this roleplay community that I kind of branched off with, like when I was mentioning the whole Adult Swim stuff and how I roleplayed a lot and stuff like that. Well, eventually Adult Swim executives or whoever was in charge of the message boards like, we're not doing the roleplays anymore. We're not dealing with this, so if you want to roleplay, go somewhere else. Well, I had a group of friends and we all made our own message board, and that's where we continued our RPs. And it got to the point where things got... I'll just leave it as interesting and leave out all the drama.
Okay.
But it kind of boiled down to, like, some of us were getting at our wits' end with one person, and I wanted to keep... Like, we had all these characters that could be great in stories and stuff like that, but we were being held back because one person was, like, taking forever to update his own character stuff so that way we can move on. Yeah. And so, like, I just started writing this. It's like a literal parody comedy of our super serious science fiction setting. And I was just like, let me just take everything here. I'm gonna create a unique character specifically for the story as our protagonist that we follow. And it's like literally just me improvising everybody's motives and then taking the parody and comedy up to the max. And like I had planned it out over like 6 books.
6 books.
6 books, yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. I didn't think of it and like from there I have like my video game adaptation and my anime adaptation as well.
Wow.
I think about these things, you know? And I know that, you know, sometimes things don't translate well into a video game from, like, a written form, so, like, the video game has its own... I have, like, the most awesome... Yeah, I have the most awesome final boss fight, because it's like you confront the final boss, and you're supposed to lose. You're supposed to lose, and then reload the checkpoint back before the boss fight, and when you reload that checkpoint, like the game like pauses like right at the beginning, like the game just auto pauses, brings up the pause menu, goes into a now visible cheat menu, inputs a cheat code, and unlocks every single weapon. And you're like, but I already have all the weapons. And then it goes back and it switches over to a weapon, an entire arsenal of weapons from other characters that you never got to play as. And you use all of their weapons in order to defeat the final boss. And the thing is, this is to help you get familiar with their weapons, because once you beat it, you unlock all these side stories where you play as those characters. Thusly, you already know how their weapons work.
Interesting.
Yeah. And of course, I also have my...
You really plan many things in your head.
And I even like have like the super secret hard boss that's harder than the final boss all planned out as well.
Wow. But you know, I now I got like going back to the previous subject kind of.
Yes.
Like now I like kind of want to know how this little community that we have like happened. Like from my perspective, like I wanted to like be a VTuber, so I got the things started.
Right.
And then I started watching like small VTubers, and I found Lunecra. And I didn't do it because I wanted to like network. I just really wanted to watch small VTubers and know how things were doing and all of that.
Right.
Then I started watching her on a daily basis, and I found she had a Discord, and then she had this professor guy talking, and we got to talk about zoids, and he had his own server, and there happened to be a guy that didn't want to watch Hunter x Hunter, and suddenly
Persuade
I was
me.
watching, suddenly I was watching like Alchemist and yeah, like
It just happens.
that's from my point of view, but I don't know like the beginning of it, like how I know that you, Prof, and Lunecra know each other in real life, but who else, and what's your perspective on this community? How did
Well-
it come to happen?
Well, let's see here. I had been. Oh, I think it's here. It's now June, so I believe I have been
Yeah.
VTubing for about a year now.
Wow.
A year and 2 months.
Oh, hey Ghosties, thanks for the raid.
Hello,
How are you all
Raiders.
doing? Thank you, Esther, for the raid. Did you
Yes.
have many success on Elden Ring? Ow. Hello, everyone. I'm here with Blue. We're talking about life
History.
and yeah, and driving trucks across Europe. Very chill. Ow. Thank you, for the 2 subs. I mean, 2 months.
They're throwing
you all
many things at
doing?
you, I assume.
Yeah, and spamming the curse emote that Esther has.
Ha ha ha.
Did you came in all prepared to spam the emote? I think you did.
They're always
It's
prepared.
cursed. It's cursed. It's cursed. It's cursed. Yeah, yeah. They came in prepared.
But of course.
She has this like cursed emote that is the helmet of her Elden Ring
I've seen it.
character.
I have seen it, yes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You know Esther too. Yeah. Nice.
Yes. Ghosties. Ghosties.
Yeah. And I hate it. It's cursed.
I look at it and I'm just like, fascinating. Interesting.
I'm glad
That's
you
intriguing.
You had fun.
Yes.
No, Mew Mew, not you too. No, you are supposed to be on my side. Remember, we talked about it. You are on my side, not others.
Oh my. Yeah. So we were talking about how the community just happened.
Hey, Fluffy. Yeah. From your perspective.
From my perspective, well, I was already like
Oops.
streaming with Legagorn, so I don't even really
Okay.
know if he would consider himself part of the community. He's just like, I am the friend of Blue, and that's about it.
Mantente a la izquierda.
Okay.
But Poin, she is kind of like in the same boat of I know her in real life because of job relations kind of stuff.
Uh-huh.
And I had kind of invited her in because at the time me and Legagorn I had reached out to another coworker because his fiance mentioned that he also was interested in like phasmophobia, and eventually he kind of fell out because real life happens, and his
Hold on. Wow, Esther. Yeah, did you have like a bad time? Like, that sounds horrendous. But yeah, good night. Good night. You know, it's fun that I kind of have like more VTuber friends that still don't like know each other. I think like I would like for all of them to know each other.
Right.
So like I have like 2 branches of communities, and Esther is like part of them, like a few
Right.
VTuber friends that I have, and it's the other branch is like all of the loonies and stuff that I want to all of them like meet eventually. It's
Right.
It's fun.
Yeah. But when anyways, I threw out an invite toward Point, like, hey, you want to play? And at some point, she informed me that Lunecra was streaming and doing VTuber stuff, and like I don't remember exactly how that circumstance happened, where she figured that out or anything. That's like something that Point would have to explain. But she's also I think Lunecra was apparently also aware that I was VTubing, but we were both at this impasse where how do we tell each other who we are without telling each other who we are? Because, like...
Why?
It's the kind of thing where the unspoken rule of politeness where you don't advertise your own channel in somebody else's stream. Because that's like rude as... That is rude as hell.
It is.
So it's like how, and especially considering that my channel on YouTube is Boris, but my Twitch name is Blue.
Blue. Yeah.
Yes. So I was like, how do
Which is not confusing at all.
That is not confusing at all. And it was just kind of like, how do I? Because like as soon as I found that out and Poin told me Lunecra's Twitch name and stuff like that, it's like I started showing up and I was just like, this mysterious force that somehow knew Lunecra, but she's like, but I don't know this blueberry pie person. And eventually, I forget exactly how it happened, but it was kind of like I introduced the right combination of words where it's like, well, who are you? And I'm like, well, I'm this person. It's like, oh! And we just kind of went from there.
Alki said that he didn't make the connection for like 2 months. Yeah. Wow. Did I take the wrong turn many times?
Wait. Oh no. Oh no, did my...
No, I didn't.
What's happening? What's happening? Oh,
Why?
that's what's happening.
Why?
Oh. Okay. I thought for some reason that the batteries in my keyboard and mouse both magically died at the same time, but I accidentally...
Okay.
I opened up the... I accidentally opened up the text chat.
Oh.
I am stopped. I want to play it safe because I'm not...
This was like back on September, right?
Yeah. I don't remember exactly.
Wow. I think Lunecra started streaming on September.
Like, that might have been when she started streaming, but I don't remember the exact moment when I made the contact.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, eventually we found out who we were able to communicate who each other's was, and from there, it just kind of went from there. And then it's like she started raiding. I would just stick around and watch the go into the raids, and I think that's how... Well, there was also the community in the Discord, because I was like...
Yeah.
Yeah, eventually got into the Discord when she made that. Truck.
And there was more people in there.
There were more people. And of course, eventually, Iscariot started streaming again. He started streaming because Lunecra rolled a good persuasion check and won victoriously. And Iscariot started streaming. And that's kind of like how I ran into, like, I guess, I and Stren and Alchemist. Because of his raids into their stuff.
Okay, so Professor is friends of Alki and I and Stren from a while then?
That's stuff that he would have to explain. I can only explain my experience. But it was just kind of like the interconnection of raiding other people, other friends in the community and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Nobody can raid me because I am the outlier. I am the YouTuber, not the Twitcher.
Yeah, it's complicated. Why did you choose YouTube?
Why did I choose YouTube? Let's see here. When did I start my channel exactly is the main question. Because the channel started, I think, back in 2010.
Oh.
Probably earlier than that. About.
It makes sense to... Yeah, I mean, you have many
The
subscribers
channel
as
was...
well,
My channel was made on September 3rd of 2007.
Oh.
And then... When... Oh... YouTube doesn't allow me to do it that way without going into the studio.
The first video?
Yeah,
something?
the very first video. The very first video. It was a Sims... Well, it's probably not the very first one. It's not a Sims 2. It was a Sims 2! This was back when I wrote a lot of Sims 2 stories. Yeah, my
Wow.
first 3 videos were all Sims 2 related. I had one of of a founder of my Apocalypse Challenge dancing with his wife. I have another one of 2 Sims 2 creators that I really enjoyed their stories of, playing rock, paper, scissors. And then I have the music video I made that was the ending of my Apocalypse Challenge story. And this was back in October of 2007. Was my first video. And it just kind of went from there. And I was mostly just like doing, I kind of learned about recording software, because the reason it was Sims 2 first was because Sims 2 had its own built-in like video recorder and stuff, even though it was like really garbagey, but it was something. I started learning about free software, recording software, but you know, they would slap their logo on it after a certain period of time.
Yeah, like fraps and all of that.
No, this was before I got Fraps. When I finally got Fraps, I was recording like World of Warcraft raid boss kills, and then eventually I was watching this chap from England who cusses really frequently, but I found him absolutely hysterical and fun.
Okay.
And he was playing a game called what was it called? Amnesia: The Dark Descent, and I'm like, I can do this, and the rest is history.
Okay.
The rest is
Wow.
history.
Kind of the same happened with me with Game Grumps. Like, I found Game Grumps. Do you know Game Grumps, right?
I am aware of Game Grumps. Game Grumps
Okay.
is how I learned about a lot of other
Shit.
YouTubers.
Okay. So, when I saw them, I was like, wow, I can do this. I like games. I have friends. and I told them about that, and we made a YouTube channel in Spanish and all of that.
Right.
With time, I got to know streamers, and it was like, oh, this is easier, kind of, because I
Yeah.
didn't have much time to edit videos.
Right.
So like, I can stream, but I didn't have a nice internet connection, and I still didn't have the time, so I never got to actually do it
Right.
until a few months ago, and that's been through maybe 10 years.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, cause like,
Yeah, I have friends, Fluffy. I have friends. I have you.
yeah, it's kind of like, you know, in the beginning, you know, terrible microphone, low quality videos.
Yeah.
Most of it was like literally all of it was pretty much just like record it and then throw it, like, because the way Fraps was, I had to edit. It wasn't editing, it was throwing it all onto a timeline of a video editor and compressing it all down to smaller video sizes and then uploading it on the internet, so that way it would go faster for uploads and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and then going from
Wow.
there.
The
And it's
old
like,
times.
yeah. And yeah, I was just like, you know, I thought like, oh, do I need a face cam? Do I need to have a face cam so people can see my face? But I don't want people to know. I don't want people to see my face because, you know, I have my emotional range, my facial emotional range is very limited.
Okay.
I also didn't have a webcam, so as you said, Game Grumps, they were the inspiration.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if they're successful, they don't show their face. It's just two voices
don't.
bantering back and forth. And I was like, you know, I can do this. You don't have to
Can.
do the face cam, and it just kind of went from there. And like the amount of times I've had comments show up and be like, "Why do you still do this? Why are you still going? Nobody watches your videos." And it's just like,
Okay.
I will admit that in the beginning, like almost everybody else, I can do this. I can become famous. My channel will explode. Blah blah blah, and it never did because, you know, life's life. But why did I keep going?
that
Well,
happened.
I changed the motivation from I'm doing this because, you know, I can do this and be famous. It just kind of changed into like, well, since that didn't happen, I am just going to do this because I choose to do this. I want to do this. And
enjoy it.
I just kept going. Yes, I kept going. It was a reason for me to play games. try different kind of things. Like for the longest time, I never made thumbnails. I was just like, okay, YouTube will pick a thumbnail for me, and I'll just go from there. Like I think the very first thumbnails I started making was like for a Senran Kagura game, and that was actually pretty easy in my opinion. And then it just kind of went from there. It was like every other game was like whatever YouTube picks, but when it came to a Senran Kagura game, I was like, Senran Kagura deserves an extra special amount of attention and respect. I will make thumbnails for these videos. And it just kind of grew from there. It's like once I was like, you know, I'm making these thumbnails for this series of games, I should make thumbnails for other things. It just kind of went from there and grew. And it kind of became even more so when I started VTubing, because I was like, oh, I have a model and stuff like that.
Yeah, you have like a persona now.
I have a physicality. I can go from there. And so I kind of did.
Yeah, that's fun. VTubers, the VTuber thing is, it's fun. It's kind of weird how it's like a different kind of entertainment in the way of like who you are. Like you can put on a like a character, like there's like, you know, gremlins, grim reapers, ghosts, and that's fun.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, what are you, and your model is like that because of this reason, and you can just like start making up things and have fun with it, and
it's
your
not
fans
like
can get to be little souls or ghosties or little, I don't know, gremlins. and everyone likes that.
Because
if I'm with a webcam right now, with a face cam, telling everyone I am a Grim Reaper,
it just doesn't sell.
Like,
it doesn't sell.
No. Hey Omni, thanks for the raid. Oh no.
Hello raiders.
No.
Yeah.
How did the interview go, Omni? Hope it went well. For the raid, where we were playing a Eruo Truck Simulator with my friend Blue here, talking about everything really, from aliens to artificial intelligence, and now the history of how we became to be. Talked a lot of stuff in the stream.
We're not having existential crisis. We're just talking about existence itself.
Yeah, it's true. No crisis here yet.
Just
but
talking to a person is a crisis, but talking about existence is not.
Having to socialize is a crisis, but existence is fine.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Life is tolerable.
Yeah, it's good enough. It's fine.
It's like one of the things like I've had was somebody asked me if I was happy with how things turned out in my life, and I'm like, maybe not happy. Happy is not a word I can use to describe it, but I am content with the way things have turned out as they have. And it's like they told me how that was like such a conclusion to come to, because so many people can get stuck up on wanting to be happy that they think that if they're not happy they must be miserable and sad, and they get so hung up on that kind of a thing. And I'm just like,
because wait, this is how we start the existential, by the way. Because I was going to ask, what is happening? What is happiness?
what is happiness?
and how it is different for everyone.
I mean, right there, it's completely different for everyone. Like for me, it's just like, you know, a lot of people that I would categorize as people I do not want to, that I don't know well enough. It's kind of like the phenomenon of when you meet a person in real life, you have to go through that struggle of introductions and filling them out and understanding what you have as a common link, so that we have something to talk about and relate to with each other. And then a lot of the times it's just like, you know, how's your day? How's this? How's the politics? How's the news? I hate
how are
those.
the kids?
I hate that. It just feels like so much nothing. But like,
Yeah, it's horrendous. Have you read The Little Prince? I don't know if that's the name in English.
I am not familiar with that, to my knowledge.
You must be. Like, the book, this little book about the prince that fell from the space. And, no? The Little Prince?
No, not sounding familiar.
I will have to Google that.
But it's just like, here, because of the Discord and the community and stuff like that, I know that you play games and there is an anime. And thusly, that is two hobbies that we have in common. And even though we may not like the same things or we have experienced the same things, much in the same vein as like, with anybody else, like I will ask like Iscari, like, oh, hey, have you heard of this show? And he's like, oh, nope, I have not. I was like, okay, well, if you haven't, feel free to check it out if you want to. And he'll talk about something that I haven't watched, and he'll do his best to persuade me in his own way. Kind of like how you tried to persuade me to watch Hunter x Hunter, and I'm like, I still see no purpose.
And I'm gonna keep going.
Things like that. But it's better than just being like, sure, I could walk up to a person that I don't know, who's I just know as like, we both work in the same location, and I happen to know your name, and maybe I can reach out in a sociable manner and be like, hey, do you like to play the video games? Do you like to watch the anime? And
No.
and as soon as I do that, my entire social thing is shut down, and I feel defeated and less confident in reaching out to Pearson.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, why go through all of that hassle when the internet exists and I can just go to a message board and find people in a anime talk session and know immediately that we can talk about anime without having to be like, do you or do you not? Do you even know what I'm talking about when I say anime?
Yeah, and we were having like a similar conversation with Mimi the other day. Like, she was like, she's an extrovert. Like, she likes talking to people, new people, and she loves that. And she gets energy from doing that. Like, sometimes, like, I don't know, she's having like just a regular day, and Discord is like booming with conversations. I go and see her, and she's smiling because she got energized.
Yeah.
And she asked me, like, how do you stream as an introvert? Like, how do you put yourself out there? Like, aren't you, like, I don't know if she asked that, but aren't you, like, afraid of that? How do you deal with that?
How do
I was
I?
like,
Yeah, go ahead.
that's an interesting question. Like, how am I doing this as an introvert? It's different, because I was thinking, like, I can do this because I'm alone here talking.
Yes.
With my own personality.
Mm-hmm.
And I am in charge of what happens, like with chat and what I play and everything. It still feels like myself and chat. It's not like I am inserted into a group of people that everyone has to do their share of social activities. It's just me. I'm in control.
Yes, exactly that. We are in complete control of the entire social interaction. There's no person in front of us who could just decide, I don't feel like talking about anime anymore. I want to talk about football.
And you know nothing about
and you know
football.
Nothing about football. You have no idea what
And
the teams are. You have
does, but you.
and you're just kind of like, you immediately are like locked out. Or like you could be talking about something and then somebody interrupts you and you're like, what was I talking about again? Because there's that pause and they're like, okay, you can talk, you can resume, and you're just like, what was I talking about? I completely lost my thread of topics that I had in mind, and it's just like, well, that's great. It's why I try not to interrupt other people, because I absolutely hate it when somebody interrupts me, because I'll have this entire logic train, and when somebody interrupts me, that train is completely derailed, and I'm looking at the disaster of the thoughts, and I'm like, none of this makes sense anymore, and I don't even know how I got to this train of logic.
Yeah, it happens.
And it's like,
The comparisons are fun because, like, when you say like, okay, someone decides to change the subject and we, like, what how do you say it? Like, we get closed up, something like that.
yeah, we get kind of locked out.
Yeah, locked out. Yeah, but if that happens to Mew Mew, like, she's like immediately interested in the new topic and like learning and looking at people talking about their things, even if she doesn't know. So it's crazy how personalities change or are so different.
I think it's more
Very
like
interesting.
it kind of depends as well on the topic change because, as I said football because it's not so much that I don't follow it, it's that I have no interest in it. The topic change is something I have no interest in, and not for a lack of knowledge. It's just I choose not to do it because I don't find it very interesting. So why would I go out of my way to learn about a bunch of stuff that I have zero interest in? And that because I have no interest in it, my brain is not even going to retain the information for a random potential conversation swing in that direction.
Yeah.
Why would I memorize all the football teams of Spain, Germany, England, France, Switzerland, etc., so on and so forth, and their star players on each of their teams when I have no passion for that?
Yeah, I feel the same. Like, if I don't like it, I just don't use memory space on my brain for that. Like, I can hear you out, but I'm not gonna remember many of the conversations. Like,
Yeah, it's like,
when people talks about cars, like, oh, that's the Ford from the 11 edition, and I'm like, that's a white car. If I get to see the logo, oh yeah, it's Ford.
yes, I am the same
And
way.
I will forget. Yeah.
That's a truck. It has
It's
it has
a
it has a pickup bed and it has a bed with a little covering. It's good for
That's
cargo.
it.
It's better for cargo for heavier cargo than a car.
Yeah, because it's big, you see.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
designed for that.
Meanwhile, watching a show that like a brand new show, and they have a song that I like, and all of a sudden I'm like, I may not know the words because it's in Japanese and my brain doesn't like have the retention to retain all the syllables and stuff like that, but I will definitely remember the tune
Oh yeah.
to a really good degree.
Yeah, that happens. I listen to a lot of like Korean pop lately, and I don't know what they are saying. like, even if I search for the translated lyrics, I don't know what's happening. I forget about the lyrics. It's
Yeah,
about the tune and stuff.
right. I don't. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out here because the game is just happening anyway.
Yeah, the game's not happening. And we were supposed to finish like 40 minutes ago.
Yes, see, this is the discovery. I have discovered that if it's just us collabing, you are in the same category as Professor Iscariot. You give energy.
Okay.
You give me energy, and I actually just want to keep on talking. I just want to keep on talking about these kind of things, you know? We could
That's
keep talking, you know?
nice. We can keep talking.
Theoretically,
Is
yes.
this the birth of a new podcast kind of collab? Maybe.
One moment. I'm actually going to do something on my stream here. Grow and grow. There. Nope, I can't move us together.
What
Since
are you
we're
doing?
pretty much, since we're just talking, I'm actually going to make our stuff bigger. So that way
Oh.
we're more of a focus instead of being like in the corner. There we go. Yeah.
Can I do that?
You can
maybe
do
if I
that.
do,
Yeah.
if I do this, I do this, and if I copy this here, but if now you're
He's
big.
learning. He did it! It's great and amazing. All the fun things. I'm over here just making silly faces that cannot be properly translated into a PNG. Ooh.
Oh, yeah, that sucked. Yeah, this was great actually. I was
Yeah.
very nervous again because of socializing with people.
Yeah.
Like I can be very chatty on chats on Discord because again it's just me on control of that. I can talk and walk away and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you can engage at your convenience.
Yeah.
If they start if the chat is like they just start talking about something like, oh well, I have nothing to contribute to this, but I'll come back because everybody's saying good morning again.
Yeah. Exactly.
It always annoys me whenever somebody says good morning and it's afternoon. I've had that. There's been one employee who's like, good morning, no matter what time of day. And I got annoyed about it, so I started saying good morning back. But in a very different manner. Like, they would say, good morning, Blue. And I'd be like, Ohayou gozaimasu! And they're like, Ohio? I'm like, Ohayou gozaimasu! I guess it would be effectively, cause I only know that. I only know that because I play a lot of Clannad, so I've had a lot of Nagisa going up to the character and be
A
like,
little what? Sorry, Clannad?
Clannad, yes.
To play the visual novel?
Yes, I played the whole thing, 100% completed.
Because I did the same thing, 100% completed. Wow.
Yeah. It just took forever for me to get it all uploaded on YouTube because like I finished.
Oh, you have it on YouTube. Wow.
Yes, I do. Wait. The clip after the truck sim clip in that video you mentioned is from the one route. You know, the ending where the girl gets the teddy bear at the end. Yeah, happy birthday. Happy birthday.
I kind of know.
The blue-haired girl who, with the tails in the library, who's always cutting up pages and stuff like that.
Yeah, I kind of remember. I think I played this maybe 12 years ago or something.
I am doing what I normally do when I can't remember a person's name. I describe them as in detail as possible because I don't remember their name.
I know who she is, but I don't remember like the story. I remember the library, the books, but I don't remember the
Yes.
thing.
She's probably like, yeah.
Many years ago.
Yeah. But it was like, I finished Nagisa's route, the main story, and then it was like, comments were like, I was like, do you guys want me to cover everybody else's route, or do you want me to jump straight into After Story? And After Story won the vote, so I bum rushed everybody else's route to unlock After Story.
Yeah.
And then I finished After Story. I'm like, well, now I have to replay everybody else's route because I didn't record those because I was reading at my speed, not at audience retention speed. Because I can read a lot faster than, you know, the audience can.
I read so slow.
It's like, sure, I can be an asshole and be like, you can pause the video if you haven't finished reading. But I don't do that because I'm trying to be a bit respectful to the audience, and because there's voice acting, I'm gonna let the voice actor. I usually just let the voice actors say their lines.
Say the line, yeah.
And then I wait maybe 5 seconds after reading the line myself like 3 times, because that's like, I feel like hopefully me reading a line 3 times is enough time for a normal person to read it once and
yeah,
retain
I think
it.
that's enough time. I think that's enough.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh boy. Of course, when I was
I think I have never met, like, naturally, someone who played Clannad all the way up.
I only got Clannad and did it because Legogorn told me about it, and then I got it.
Wow.
Yeah. Networking.
Yeah, it's a good one. What's happening to me lately with anime though is that there's so much anime that it's just like a justification for a harem or a hidden harem.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Maybe the protagonist is not in a harem, but the anime is designed so you can like different kind of girls.
Yes.
And I'm so tired of that. It's like, oh, it's one of these again.
Oh.
It's like the tsundere. It's like, no.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's kind of like... Do we really need to only have one male character? We could have two male characters, and they have just the one girl that's interested in them, or they're interested in the girl, and, you know, proceeding with the relationship from there. And that's how you can just naturally grow your cast without having to just be one guy with 5 or 6 girls flocking around them for each for their own different reasons.
It's annoying. It's annoying. You know, like Sword Art Online, right?
Yes.
Okay, so when I watched like the first episode, I watched it when it was just airing. So I only had the first episode.
Yes.
I don't know if you had the same experience. Did you?
I read the books before I even saw the anime. And let me tell you, the books, the way the anime does everything, they did it chronologically. So,
Okay.
Sword Art Online, the light novel, the very first book is the entire main plot of them getting trapped in the game, them clearing a couple level bosses, establishing the relationship between Kirito and Asuna.
Yeah, awesome.
Them getting married and stuff like that, getting forced into the guild.
But is it the same as in the anime, like the harem for Kirito?
In the first book, the only person who shows any interest in Kirito is Asuna. There is no harem.
Oh.
And as I said, yeah, the first book is nothing but the main story. It's just the plot of we got trapped in the game, we fight for our life, we have our confrontation with the person, and then the story
amazing.
ends. The story ends with Kirito waking up at the hospital, and he walks out of his room down the hospital halls to go find Asuna, and that's how the story ends. The second book
that sounds fantastic.
And it's just like there's a little slow period where Kirito and Asuna, they get married. They have a couple they have a little couple weeks off of playing the game just to like have a married life in the cabin. Kirito does his little fishing thing.
Yeah,
After the fishing event, then they go back and they do the next level, and then they have their confrontation with the bad guy, and then yeah, it gets resolved. And then the second book is the 4 short stories that introduce harem girls, and
you can just skip them, like not read them.
And then the third book is part 1 of the 2 of the Alfheim Online, and we go from there.
Wow. Because when I watched the first episode, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, I even got people into anime because of that single episode. Like all of my gamer friends that wanted to experience that.
Yeah.
And we were all like, wow, I wish this happened to me, and holy shit, like, wow.
Yeah.
And then the second episode and the third, and I don't remember when the harem started. It was like,
I think it was episode 4 was the very first episode.
It was like, fuck, no. And it kept getting worse, and many girls, and no.
Honestly, the part that I drew the line at was that side story where Kirito and Asuna find the little girl, and then at that point when I was like, Kirito just magically knows how to manipulate the code of the game that he's been trapped in for how many years now? He just magically knows how to manipulate the code. Bullshit.
Whoa.
Go fuck
Yeah.
yourself, story writer. I'm sorry. Fuck you. There is no way fucking Kirito was learning the game code while he was struggling for his life and soloing. So
Yeah.
that is fucking bullshit.
Hold on, Fluffy. Do you mean the spin-off of the girl, like when they use like guns and stuff?
Oh, the
Gun
Gun
I
Gale,
don't remember
yes.
the-
I actually like that
Gun Gale.
story. I like that story because it was just one girl again.
Yeah, and I loved that anime, and I keep pitching it to Mew Mew because I remember it being good. It's just girls, and it's just the game
Yeah.
and tactics and strategy, and it was so good.
Yeah. And
But it isn't Sword Art Online.
yeah.
Really, it's
I
Yeah,
mean,
wow.
Alicization started off really good. I really liked the start of Alicization. It was like you had Kirito, you had, I don't remember his name, but I'm gonna call him Al. You had Kirito and Al. They were doing this really cool bond thing, becoming swordsmen, joining the academy and stuff like that. There was actual danger. Kirito could just die and bite the dust. Like, he wouldn't actually die because that would be the end of the story and whatever. But it was really nice. And then, you know, we had to go and do stupid stuff and have... Oh, Kirito, I love you. I'm sorry, but I'm married.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter. I still love you.
Yeah, no. No. I hate it.
Yeah, at that point, I was like,
hate it
I'm
so
like,
much.
when's the next sword fight? Because I want to know if it's actually going to be an actual sword fight that actually is using your brains. Like the last cool thing I remember was the fight where Al was facing off against the captain of the swordsman of the swordsman, and he threw his sword in the thing and it froze everything. That was so awesome and amazing. But it will never, like the anime version of that will never beat how I played that out in my head.
Yeah.
Because I was like literally,
Yeah.
I had known everything in advance because I'm like, I have read the story and my variation, I've manipulated the story so that way it makes sense, because as a person who has played video games, I know how to make it make more sense in my head than what seems like I feel like the person who wrote the whole thing was like, I know what video games are because I looked at them in a store and I've read reviews.
Because I played Mario Bros. For 5 minutes.
Maybe they
Yeah.
have maybe they have played games and I don't know. Maybe they just don't know how things work in order to make a game realistic in terms of like an actual video game. So they, when you think that you only need one stat and that makes you a beast god, just dump everything in agility. That's the only stat that matters. Fuck you. You can have people who have strength stat builds for heavy armor to reduce damage and put points in the health and stamina so they can tank the damage. Like, I know being a damage... I know. I was a hunter in World of Warcraft. I know how amazing and great it feels to see large numbers as you kill bad guys. I love it.
Yeah.
But you have to also take in consideration, there are people like Iscariot who love taking damage and being smart with cooldowns and stuff like that for damage reduction and controlling the enemy to make sure that they don't go after your allies. It's amazing the kind of juggling health pulls as a healer and throwing out buffs and stuff like that to keep the fight going, you know?
Yeah, there's so many things that they could have done, and it's annoying. Like chat is saying, like, if without the harem, it could be amazing, and it is the same with so many other stories. Like, you know, I don't mind if there's harem in a story.
Right.
If it's good, like, why not? Like, I like girls. Like, I like anime
Yeah.
girls. Like,
Yeah.
if it's a nice story and if it plays nicely, like, good.
Okay.
If it's the only selling point, I'm like, like,
Yeah.
I try to like Shield Hero. I don't know if you tried that one.
I really enjoy it.
No, I didn't like it. Like, when the premise of only using a shield was so amazing to me. When then, like, they started to focus everything on all the girls that started to appear, and it was no, like, the potential I had seen for it was better.
I was gonna say, you know, read the books. Read the books. The books can handle it much better. Because it's an anime, they probably have to appeal in some way, so they kind of give the girl. There are scenes in the anime that never happen in the books. The whole, like, or maybe it's a lot less focused. Like, yeah, there's probably a scene where Raftalia is like, "Now, Fumi, please check out and compliment me in my bikini. Don't I look great?" And now Fumi's like, "Yeah, sure, you look great." Because he doesn't care. He doesn't see her as... She might see him as that, but he does not. In the books, they really hammer home that now Fumi only ever sees Raftalia as a daughter. All the other girls, he cannot, because of Princess Bitch, because of whore, because of her, he had been so completely crossed with women that he cannot see them as love. He cannot see anybody as a love interest at all. She ruined it for him.
You know, this conversation is nice because I have never tried reading the books.
Yeah.
Because in my mind, they must be like the anime, right?
It's not always like that. Because there are things that can translate well into the media format, but there's some things that just don't translate well. You can't. It's really hard to do like an information dump in an anime without just being like somebody just standing there going blah blah blah, important thing here, blah 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 blah, and you're just like, why is all this information coming out at once? Because they can't just spread it out in the natural way that a book can. Also, I want to take this moment to address Lunecra's comment about, hey, now don't be coming at everything in, don't be coming out against Bofuri like that. I've read Bofuri. I am aware of it, and there's a different.
I don't know what it is.
It's a story about a girl who doesn't want to die or something like that. So she found a way to cheat the system, and she has an amazingly impenetrable defense stat, so she takes no damage.
Okay.
And the difference between that and Sword Art Online is Sword Art Online tries to be serious. Bofuri just comes off to me like, it's like, I can enjoy Sword Art Online if I just be like, this is a comedy. But Sword Art Online is not coming, is like, I'm not a comedy. I'm a very serious thing. Bofuri is a comedy. All stats in one thing. It's just like it's a flexible thing. Like, I don't mean dumping everything in one stat is bullshit. It's a case by case thing. Because obviously, as a World of Warcraft hunter, the only stat I care about is agility, because that boosts my damage. Strength does nothing for me. It doesn't boost my damage. Intellect does nothing for me. I don't have a mana pool. I have focus. All I care about is stamina and agility. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of different. It's like Kirito was like, I must build agility because that is the best stat, so that way I can get more hits in, and more hits in means more damage and blah 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 and speed and blah 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 blah. As in, there is no reason to ever if you're putting points in its strength or stamina or something like that, you're wasting your time. You're just wasting your time. That's how. That's why I would get upset over, like, why have any other stat if the only important stat is the one stat? It's like, why would luck stat why should luck stat exist? Like, luck stat is usually tied for critical damage and critical chance, and you would want to do that, especially for a damage build, right?
Yeah.
For strength fighters, and yeah, you would want strength, but you would also like a good luck stat for the strength and the critical hits and critical damage, so that way you get that lucky hit and wallop and smash them with your hammer or sword or whatever. And like for like an agility user like hunters and druids and stuff like that, you want to have that high luck stat, so that way when you rake your claws or you shoot your gun or arrow at a thing, you get that critical hit and blah, boom, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you watch the Log Horizon anime?
I have not. I have that's another anime that people are like, you should really watch this because you've watched these other things and it would be fascinating for you. And I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, you're gonna like it. Like, it's I don't
Yeah.
remember much because I forget about things, but it doesn't have like an harem into it. I think harem or whatever you say.
Yeah.
But I like that the realism about getting into a world, like even if it's a game.
Yeah.
Like, I remember that like living wasn't the only like worry. Like, it's about politics and who owns, I don't know, the tavern. And suddenly you're all worried about like the city stuff, and there's a raid of monsters that didn't ever happen in the game. And it happened because no one was killing the monsters.
Right.
So
Things get
got more
complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like a nice take. And it came out after Sword Art Online, and it was like, yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
This is the one.
This is what you like. This is how you wanted the game. This is how you would like Sword Art. Whereas Sword Art is just like,
Yeah.
Sword Art is popcorn. You can eat it and be fine with it, but, you know, maybe you want Log Horizon, which is like a nice, juicy, full-course meal.
Chat is saying that Log Horizon came before.
Oh,
Like,
I
so
don't...
maybe I found it because I was sad about
Yeah.
Sword Art.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole...
Wow.
Before... Yeah, she has no idea... Yeah, because she had no idea, like, I don't know how to play the game, so I just found out I can build up defense stat by just getting damaged. And, yeah, she just... What she did was she would just she would be logged into the game, and she would fall asleep while being hit by, like, super weak monsters, and they would just build up her experience bar that way, yeah. And then, like, because she had such an absurd defense that nobody could actually hurt her, the game developers didn't even think that was a possible build, so they were scrambling to try to find a way to nerf her. So they introduced the new stats like armor penetration and stuff like that, so you could ignore armor up to a certain degree and actually do damage against her, because she entered like a tournament, and you have like mages and fighters and warriors, and they're like killing each other, and then she just kind of sits there, and everybody just gets exhausted trying to defeat her, and her health bar is like going nowhere because she has so much defense and health. And then she just walks up and she uses like an ultimate attack she got from eating a dragon. Long story.
Okay.
It gets complicated. Yeah, she had no weapons. Yeah,
Eating
she's
the monsters.
yeah, because she had no weapons, because she went into like this super hard dungeon and her weapons were melted and destroyed. So all she could do, the only thing she came up with was eating the monsters in order to win. And
Wow.
that boosted her stats and stuff like that in its own way. Yeah. Yeah. And
Wow.
again, the game developers never thought of it. They never programmed it out of the game. They never. It's just like, it's like when a person in our own times, they learn a thing about a game that the developers never thought anybody would ever do. It becomes an exploit. Everybody starts doing it, and then developers are like, "We got to fix this because this is not how the game is meant to be played." And then they patch it out, or they nerf something or something like that. You know. It's just so funny
Yeah.
because she just unintentionally finds new things that causes everybody to panic. It's like, oh no. I only read the first book. I don't know how much of the anime the first book covers. Like, I only remember, like, I think the book kind of ends with our main character starting up a guild with her friend and another person. And I think that's where it ended. I actually never actually finished the first book. I think I had like the last chapter left to read. But I was like, I had other books I wanted to read because I just bought them. I was like, Bo Furry was just like a interesting sidetrack story. So I'm like, oh, this is interesting, but yeah.
Damn. Now, I haven't watched anime like in a while.
Ah.
because all of this shit, like the too many harems, too many shitty isekai.
Oh.
Now that I see that there's books that have like the
Yeah.
premise of the anime minus the harem, it's
Yeah.
like I should read the books.
Yeah, so many things, like, I can't think of many animes off the top of my head that didn't start off as either a light novel or
Light novels, yeah.
light novel or even a manga, light novel,
Yeah.
manga, or even like a web novel that then eventually gets translated into a light novel, and so on and so forth. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I knew that, but I didn't know that they were like better in the sense that they have less bullshit into them.
yes, exactly. Like Bleach. I stopped watching the anime of Bleach because I was getting so sick and tired of filler anime seasons. How do you get rid of that?
Oh.
The reason they make the filler is because the anime caught up to the story, and so
Yeah.
they have to make bullshit up, but still stay
Yeah.
maintain character. So how do you avoid filler? You read the books, because everything in the book
Yeah.
is not filler, unless the author probably got paid to make filler content.
The only thing I'm reading right now it's the One Piece manga,
Ah,
and I really like One Piece, but I'm not like, oh, this is the best thing ever. It's like, it's good. I like it.
I'm just looking over my shoulder at my dresser that is completely drowning in books because, like, let's see here. I have Saga of Tanya the Evil. I have Konosuba. I have Overlord. I have Classroom of the Elite. I have Shield Hero. Kaguya-sama Love is War. How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift. Komi Can't Communicate. Over there in my closet I have No Game No Life. I have Sword Art
Oh,
Online.
No Game No Life.
Yeah.
Had plenty of bullshit into it, but the premise was amazing.
I know. The only problem I have,
Look.
honestly, the only thing I absolutely hate about the writing in the books and the stuff is they get so into the sexual jokes, and I'm like, I understand, but this is becoming like, I feel like the only reason you're continuing the story at this point is you're trying to find out more absurd ways to tell even more absurd jokes of the sexual nature, and I'm just like,
So,
like the book with where they talk about the dwarves has this probably super interesting story that I can't remember because the only thing I remember is I'm as smooth as a dolphin. I'm as smooth as a dolphin. And I'm like, I don't care. And the only reason that's relevant is because the dwarves in this story make everything out of their hair. All the machines, all the metal is pulled out from their own hair. So being bald is horrifying because you have no material to work with.
wow.
Yes. So it's not like the female dwarf was referring to the hair on her head when she was saying those statements. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
I don't need to know this information. Thank you. You don't need to keep repeating it over and over and over.
Yeah, it's like, it's too much. Like, okay.
Like, Iscariot would
may-
probably absolutely love the mecha battle that was the climax of that story, but I can't even remember it because all I remember is, I'm as smooth as a dolphin. Shut up. Shut the lever-licking fuck up. I don't care. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
But I mean, there was this amazing mecha battle because they had the King of the Dwarves with his awesome mecha fighting off against our main protagonist. We had the elves, which, you know, elves fucking hate technology.
Good night, frogs. Thanks for coming by.
You had an elf.
Have a good night. Sorry.
It's fine. I just wanted to make sure that you finish before I continue.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you have the elf and her human companion piloting their own mecha, and the only reason why the elf got involved is because her hatred for fucking doors exceeded her hatred for piloting a giant mecha suit. because as long as she can destroy and embarrass and humiliate a dwarf, she will do whatever it takes. And then you have a protagonist with their mecha, which I don't want to say because plot spoiler reasons, but it's awesome for the context that it's within. And it
Wow.
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's like, if you take away all the sexual jokes and stuff like that and the innuendo, a lot of the stuff is pretty like really cool and interesting how our protagonists deal with the different races in their games. Like, imagine having to play. I should probably ask the question first. You know how to play chess?
Yeah.
Okay. Imagine you have to play chess, but you could only move to a beat of a boppin' song, and the entire chess game must be completed within the time constraints of a concert, and you can only move certain pieces in certain ways based on the beat of the song that's going on stage. And yeah, and the protagonists have made it. I don't remember the exact details, but I think they said that if they do not have their opponent in checkmate, then they lose. If it's a stalemate, they lose. The challenge, the race that they're challenging wins. If it's a draw or they don't finish the game before the concert was over.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a crazy mechanic.
And of course,
so interesting.
And to add to it, their opponent were robots. So the robots with, super abilities to, also having all the memory and stuff like that of all possible moves based on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wanna get books now.
Yeah. I mean, the nice thing is also, I don't know if you do subtitles or if you do like dubs.
Oh, I am a subtitle kind of guy.
Yeah. So you don't have to worry about when you're reading a book that the lines only stay up for so long and you have to. I've gotten to the point where I can flick my eyes up and down and retain what's going on screen and still keep up with the subtitles. But for people, I except for sometimes really long stuff or there's signs that are on display for maybe 5 seconds, but they still translate what's on the sign. So I have to pause this. I pause the video and be like, what does the sign say? Oh, it just says fish for $5. Okay, move on. But yeah, you don't have to worry about that. They have the occasional illustration every so often. I wish there were more illustrations, but I can understand if I want more of a visual experience with words, then I can go get the manga, but the manga goes at a slower pace because they have to account for the imagery on top of the verbs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want book. Especially because I'm starting to remember do you know about Susumiya Haruhi? No?
The Melancholy?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. When you say
that comes from a light novel, right?
I don't know. I only have the anime. Also, yeah. I would like to make one statement.
Comes from a book.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would like to make one statement about the anime. Fuck the summer episodes. Fuck the Endless 8. Fuck those episodes.
What the fuck? Yeah, no, you don't do that. How many are there? 4? No,
I think there were 6 episodes.
No.
Let me check. I have it right here.
No, that's a
Endless 8. Part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There were 8 episodes of the Endless 8. It makes sense. Endless 8 episodes. Fuck those 8 episodes.
No, that didn't make any sense. But I'm aware that they come from books, and it's a good story. It's a good premise. A girl is God and she doesn't know.
I know.
And everything that happens is because of her. It's crazy.
Just her whims.
Yeah, and also I like the franchise I don't really know the name. It's like index something like.
A certain magical index,
Yeah.
a scientific railgun, a certain scientific
Yes.
accelerator. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
I absolutely hated the third seasons.
yeah.
I felt
Yeah,
like
they were bad.
I'm like I want to read the books, but then people in the comments of the anime are saying like it's exactly the same thing in the books. They're not rushing anything. And I'm like, it feels so fucking rushed though. Like the princess arc, I retain none of the information.
Yeah.
The only thing I retained was the middle princess, and that was only because I called her Princess Bowsette because Bowsette had come out at that
Okay.
time. You know who Bowsette is, right?
Yeah. I know.
So because of
Wow.
because of that that particular princess's demeanor and behavior and aggression, I was like, I don't know what her name is. I don't remember her official name, but I will henceforth. You are now Princess Bowsette. I don't care what
Yeah,
your
the
real name
thing
is.
that somehow, so many characters started to appear or reappear, and organizations and
Yeah,
it was like, what? Like,
I
how
will.
can I follow?
I'll be honest. Like Index, I remember things, but I don't remember how the order of things.
Kind of thing, yeah.
Like the only thing I can remember off the top of my head is like the first 3 episodes where Index shows up and she's gonna go psycho bonkers crazy and explode because reasons.
All of the, yeah.
Yeah. And then after
else?
that's about all I remember. I remember there was also the sisters arc and how Toma, his name was Toma, right?
Yeah, Toma.
Yeah, how Toma was all like, "Let me do this for you, Bibi Bibi."
Yeah.
And how awesome that was. And then I remember watching that back in a certain scientific railgun, and I was like, "Wow, you had all that."
I love it so much.
Yeah, and then they
Right,
had their last season. I'm not saying it's like their final season, but it was just like the last season in case somehow they managed to get another season.
I mean, there's more story.
Yeah, there's more story, but that doesn't mean producers are going to give money to an anime studio to make it into an anime.
Yeah.
But like the last season for that, and I was just like, I don't really care anymore now. You threw so
I don't
many.
even
You
remember.
throw. There was the whole, and then the guy in the assassination squad, and then them breaking up, and then the girl with the number 4 girl with the laser beams, and how she had eye, and then there was the thing, and everybody,
Yeah.
and
So many characters. It was no.
and I'm just like, can we just go back to Berry Berry, please? Can we just focus on
Yeah.
her and her 4 friends, and that's about
Yeah.
it? Do we really need to get the rest of the world involved with a million different characters that I'm hardly ever going to keep track of because we're only going to see them one time?
It was the first 2 seasons were fun. Like they
Yeah.
had lots of action, but they were cozy. Like it's just Misaka and her friends.
Yeah.
Like having like really big problems, but it was just like friendship, an anime about friendship and
Yeah.
difficult situation. On the 3rd season, it was like what?
Like, yes, that's all I remember. I don't remember what happened in
don't
the
remember.
breakdown,
No.
but it was just like I remember being so like, why is everything expanding? Why have we expanded so
Yeah.
much?
How?
That's right, because of the girl with the remote and the mind control stuff, and how she was not actually a bitch. She was actually just a person who had a different way of expressing and getting things done the
Yeah.
way she wanted to get done.
I remember that. That was like the simplest part of that season.
Yeah, that was like the simple
the
part.
Others, yeah.
But then they had to throw in everything else, like the guy and the festival, and
oh yeah, the festival.
yeah.
Yeah, I barely remember.
And then
The
like
first seasons were so good.
and
They were so good.
Accelerator, scientific accelerator. There's only a couple things I remember. I remember the intro to the song. I remember the opening song because that was fucking amazing. And
I don't remember much.
it's fine. Maybe it just didn't.
I love the character. He's a nice character.
Yeah.
Like his powers and all of the brain usage that it
Yeah.
requires. It's great.
Yeah.
And his character development, like from being the bad guy to just being the caretaker of Last Order, it's
Yeah.
fun.
I wish they had more of that, and instead we got
Yeah.
like, I'm a necromancer. Okay.
And little Misaka was so nice. She's great.
I'm a necromancer. I need you to help me stop this person. And
I don't remember.
the person who absorbed like a whole bunch of Mikasa clones, a bunch of sisters, because now that I know I have the knowledge of the 10,000 deaths, I know how to destroy the world, and now I am the Zerg Overmind. Serve the hive. I control. Evolution complete. Your new Zerglings have now encroached. That's all I remember. I remember she just became the Zerg Overmind. That was my joke. I was going to do a whole bit about it and make a funny story. I was going to make a funny little video of her mouth moving and saying a whole bunch of Zerg Overmind lines. And I was like, I don't care. Can we just go back to
Yeah.
Accelerator and Last Order, because that is what
was-
you sell. You sell that relationship. You don't sell this necromancer and this undead thing that absorbs a million.
It was weird. It
Like,
was
I can understand. Like, how much more do you have to beat over Accelerator's head about all the sisters he killed? He gets it. You don't need to keep banging on that drum.
Yeah. Yeah. He got traumatized by that. And we know.
I know, that's and that's why you just do it with the Last Order and him. You just do it with those two. You don't have to get some third party involved to trigger more nonsense.
Yeah.
And even then it's like,
Yeah.
well, where does this line up with the grand timeline of the base, a certain scientific, certain magical index? Like, because all the different seasons take place at different times from the main story, because it's like, okay, well, how does this all line up? Does it even make sense that it lines up in this storyline like
it's
this?
hard. I think the only thing that I liked, I mean, okay, let's set some base here. Like, I love Railgun so much. I think Misaka is like my anime heroine, like my favorite anime heroine. I have a figurine of her that Mew Mew got me.
Ah,
I like her so much. She's like my hero, you know?
right.
Okay, so the only thing that I remember that I really liked on season 3 of Index was when Misaka came to help from the fucking airplanes and then fall
Yeah!
from the sky.
Yeah!
Oh my god, that was so cool.
Oh my
So
god.
cool.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like, wow, she's my hero. It's a great scene.
And that was like,
She's so powerful.
yeah, it's just like, I'm here to help you because I care. It doesn't matter that, you say
Yeah.
don't come because I don't want you in danger. I'm here because I know there's danger and I want to also help and protect you as well,
Yeah. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool.
And then then they have this character on the main menu of the OP that's the maid on the spinning robot. I was like, why is she here? Who is this character? She just shows up in a couple scenes to say a couple things, and it's like, but what purpose does she serve?
Oh, the maid on the spinning. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, who is she? I forget.
Yeah, she's on Index, I think. She's like the neighbor. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Not really important.
I mean, like, I feel like the very short child-looking teacher served more of a purpose
Yeah.
in the grand scheme, and I don't even
Yeah,
remember
she
her
did.
name. Like I look at her,
No.
I'm like, yeah, she serves a purpose. She has a
Yeah.
reason for existing in the scenes that
was
she
useful.
does. Who the fuck is this maid on the spinning robot, though? Why is she here? Please give me
Yeah.
more screen time. I can be cool. Swag.
It's the thing that they have to introduce many different kind of female characters to appeal to different kind of tastes from males.
Yeah.
That sucks because the word alone is enough for a good.
Yeah.
Like I love how in Railgun it's all about how you use the power,
Yes.
like
Or-
teleporting and the electromagnetic fields. Like you can do so much with them if you actually put your brain into it.
Yeah.
That's what's nice about.
And then you have Toma, who's like, I don't have any powers. I just kick ass.
Yeah, my right hand
Oh my god.
cancels everything.
God. That was such an amazing line. You may be a level 6 Esper, but you just got your ass handed to you by a level 0. That was...
Yeah,
Mwah. That was badass.
it was. I love Railgun. I need to watch it again.
Oh,
For
just-
the-
like,
I don't know how much.
Just the reaction of Accelerator when he got punched. He was like, this has never happened before, and you can see it on his face.
Yeah, you can.
I have never, ever got hit.
How?
What happened? This was not in the calculations. This should not have happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Wow. So. Wow.
yeah.
Okay. It's late.
Yes. See, this is what I talk about when people give me energy. I can just keep
I
going.
think we were almost at a stage of saying goodbye like
Yes.
an hour ago, and
Yes.
suddenly we started talking about anime and
All I had to do was say the magic words, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, we can keep going.
yeah.
I'm like,
Uh,
I have like the door like halfway. I was like, we can end now, or we can keep going.
yeah. I mean, we're not even playing anymore.
Pretty much, it's just been like it's just been like the game has just been panning around the truck.
Yeah.
Good night, Lunecra.
Good night, Lunecra.
We're probably wrapping up here as well.
Yeah. We must. We must.
It's like, at any point during the past hour of conversation, I would have been like, yeah, I have said everything, but if he wants to keep talking, I can keep talking.
Same. And that makes an endless loop.
Oh,
All right, Blue. Yeah.
This has
It
been-
was amazing.
yes. No doki doki, no nervousness.
It's amazing. Yeah. No, I actually feel amazing now.
Yeah.
I was nervous like
How much
the
of
day
your
before yesterday.
how many discussion topics did we not even cover on your list?
No, I didn't put that many because I knew that with one could go for hours. So I had like, do you think a zombie apocalypse is possible? Give details on the type of zombie. Believe or not, aliens, ghosts, supernatural. Personal stories about them, and
Ah.
artificial intelligence and iRobot. That's what I have on my list.
Ghosts
Yeah,
and
we
aliens and
have-
stuff. Do I
Yeah, we
believe?
still have to cover.
All I can
Yeah.
say is I have yet to see definitive evidence that they don't 100%
No,
exist.
wait. No, Blue. All you have to say is that we will find out in the next collab.
Tune in
Because
next
if
time.
If you start talking, I'm
Tune
gonna
in
get
next time and-
interested.
Tune in next time in the next episode of collabing with Ruinah. What color socks am I wearing?
Why is that? Why did you choose that color? What does that color mean to you?
What? They're socks.
Do you
They-
have any meaningful stories or memories wearing those socks?
I have an interesting topic.
No,
Next
no.
time.
Yeah.
Next time it won't even be like we'll just have the game up and we'll just be talking and it'll be like what the past hour. It was just like the game is just the truck cycling between different images and we're just talking.
I don't even have the game in the background anymore. It's just the little ghost trying to go places.
So your stream has been ending for an hour now, huh?
No, it's not the ending screen. It's just.
Oh, okay. It didn't actually have
the ghost. Yeah.
I just had the game up because if I didn't have the game up, it would just be my theater curtains and.
Yeah. Oh.
I'd rather just have the
this
game
was fun.
dancing in the background.
Yeah, it's better. I have this little guy here, like trying to go places.
I'm glad I actually have music playing in the background because I know that if alt-tabbing out of the game, especially since I turned all the music off in the game, like my desktop audio only moves when you talk, and I'm just like, I'm glad there's some audio playing because I can only imagine like this, any sort of like little pauses, and you just hear like body noises and chair squeaks.
Yeah, I need to make music. The next one. Hey, Bokchoy, how are you doing?
Yeah.
Good morning.
All right, well.
Yeah, we need to wrap up.
We can sign off.
Yeah.
I will just say.
It was. Were you about to say something?
I was waiting to make sure you weren't going to interrupt. Meanwhile, everybody's looking. Anybody who would be looking at my screen is like, "Why did it freeze? Why did blue freeze? Why did blue freeze?" Because I just went completely still. I'm just like, like, is the stream lagging? Is blue lagging? No. No, I was just gonna say.
Lagging?
You're just like, wait. Did blue lag? Did the internet die on him? And he's just like, "Gah." No, this has been fun. This has been fun. This was.
Yeah.
It kind of went exactly how I expected it to go. And the whole
Same.
we just talk, and things happen. There was probably some funny stuff happening in the truck portion of the stream on my end. I don't know about your end. I just know that like
I don't even know.
I remember when I crashed into the ticket booth and I got kind of stuck there. That's why I was like, "Where are you? Are you close?" And you're like, "No." I'm like,
Oh.
so I'm like, maybe I can escape out of my predicament before Ruinah shows up and she's like, "What happened?" And I'm like, nothing happened. The ticket booth just didn't register my thing fast enough and raise the bar.
Yeah, I didn't see anything. So
And then there was
nothing
another
happened
time
on
when
my
I
end.
hit the rail and my truck went sideways and I got towed.
Really?
Yeah. But I mean, we were talking, so I didn't feel a need to mention it. We were such in deep, thought-provoking discussion. I don't have to report everything going on and what's going on in my game. The gameplay is just a vehicle as a visual distraction.
background.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, this went really well. I'm glad you weren't as
It did.
nervous as you thought you might be. I don't bite.
Maybe.
Nom.
I don't know much about gremlins.
Just don't provoke me,
Yeah.
and it will be fine.
Oh, great.
And I can tell the
Good to
difference.
know.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be, you have to be malicious, and I don't think you would be malicious unless I be malicious back towards you.
Yeah, mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. I liked it, and I want to do it again.
Yeah.
I want to do it again. But we will be talking.
Yes.
We'll be. Yeah.
Thank you all very much for watching
Yeah.
and sticking out with the hour-long improvised just chatting
Yeah.
with truck images in the background for me anyway.
And a ghost walking here, trying to go places.
We all hope you
Yeah,
have a
it was
wonderful
fun.
Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your time frame.
Oh, it's the beast mode.
Oh no.
I think no one did it the whole stream.
I would have noticed because you sound completely different now. I'm like,
Yeah.
I thought that only affected the stream end. I didn't know it also affected on the Discord.
No, I did it for the Discord too, for the collabs, so they know and they can, laugh about it.
Yeah, this is the first time I would have like louder and squeakier.
Yeah. I mean, I sound scary, I know.
Indeed.
I know.
Indeed.
Yeah.
There's nothing scarier than a baby screaming its head off. You're like, please stop. Please stop.
Hey, I lost my powers, kind of.
It's okay.
Yeah, this is all I can do. Yeah,
Alright.
thanks a lot, everyone. Thanks for staying here, and yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and
Yeah.
call off. I'm gonna sign off
Yeah.
now. So,
Same.
thank you all very much for watching, and ciao for now. Ciao for now.
Ciao for now.
Bye.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone, for staying here with us. It was fun, and I wanna do it again.
Yes.
I really liked it. Yeah. Goodbye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.